Yo, 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 this is your motherfucking Uncle Ruthless Rob, and you're listening to Uncovering the Underground with Skippy Ipcom, bitch. Brought to you by Spreaker Podcast Radio, bringing you nothing but that underground shit, motherfucker.
It's Friday night, I got nothing to do except call my dude and get a new tattoo. It's Friday night, I got nothing to do except call my dude and get a new tattoo.
I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, and don't give a fuck. I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, and don't give a fuck. I got my first tattoo at the age of 15. Now I'm all tatted up and spitting these 16s. It's like a sick dream when I'm fiending for ink. It's my goddamn body, I don't care what y'all think. I'm addicted to the electric burn. At night I can't sleep, I toss and turn. I want another one, I guess I'll never learn. I keep it dirty like an earthworm, no concern for anything. Just give me that needle, got me looking all evil cause I don't like people. I see you with your tramp stamp, yeah that's cute. That'll be the bullseye for the load I shoot. Route 666, yeah I'm headed for hell. In a damn hand basket, I might as well get a new tattoo, one's never enough. New kid on the block and I got the right stuff.
It's Friday night, I got nothing to do except call my dude and get a new tattoo. It's Friday night, I got nothing to do except call my dude and get a new tattoo.
I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, and don't give a fuck. I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, and don't give a fuck. I'm a walking piece of artwork, blood, sweat, and tears, and countless hours of this hard work. My arms hurt, but it's a price to pay to make fools look twice when I walk they way. Please walk away. I got nothing to say except eat shit and die. Put it on replay. I stay with the outcast, low down criminals. A tattoo to me is like a ritual, an individual with something to say. I let my tattoos do the talking, and hey, every single one's a story, very observatory. Severely feeling sore, no guts, no glory. It's hard to ignore me walking down the street, white trash with tattoos, feeling like a freak on a leash. Come with me, yeah, follow the leader, and we can all get tatted up and rock wife beaters.
It's Friday night, I got nothing to do except call my dude and get a new tattoo. It's Friday night, I got nothing to do except call my dude and get a new tattoo.
I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, and don't give a fuck. I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, and don't give a fuck. I can't hide these scars forever in my skin, embedded in my body, and golly, I can't pretend to be somebody that I'm not. Yo, I got so many tattoos.
How many?
Bitch, a lot, yo, I lost count, and I just can't stop. My dick gets hard when I see the ink drop. Whatever, motherfucker, pain is pleasure. I pray every night that things get better. The pressure of my stress levels, dancing with the devil, got me plotting on my next one. Get it together is what they telling me, but I don't pay him no attention. Artistic expression covers my complexion. Did I mention my collection is extensive and impressive? Aggressively expensive, but it helps with my depression. Here's a lesson I can show you all about the rough shit. Sit and take it like a man, you little punk ass bitch.
It's Friday night, I got nothing to do except call my dude and get a new tattoo. It's Friday night, I got nothing to do except call my dude and get a new tattoo.
I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, and don't give a fuck. I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, I'm tatted up, and don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Oh. Laying on my back, looking at the sky, contemplating why I'm feeling like I'd rather die. If there's any reason that I found to stay within this life, it's gotta be my daughter. Gotta never leave a fucking side. Word is born. I go to war for her and all that. This is real, this is nothing that you all rap. If you touch it, then I guarantee it's all bad. Cause I snap back, so I ain't talking about a ball cap. Fucker, y'all just suckers and I'm harboring souls. My approach is the same as Dr. Marlboro Monroe. Sharp therapy and swearing we are not even close. David Carradine couldn't hang if I showed in the pros. Got a bitch that's insane, so she got my vote. Similar to these, that's the way she got on the pole. Drinking liquor like it's water and I'm out of control. The Mona Lisa wouldn't smile if she looked at my soul.
Feeling like there's no shame running through these cold veins. Can't feel my soul, I'm out of touch and feel no pain. And I've been thinking that I'm ready to die. No big deal. Can't leave, I still got plenty of life. I can't be killed. There's no shame running through these cold veins. Can't feel my soul, I'm out of touch and feel no pain. And I've been thinking that I'm ready to die. No big deal. Can't leave, I still got
but I'm feeling like I'm guilty. No rest is the best that I will be. I got demons that progress while I'm wilting. So my death will invest in it well-being. No stress, I'll impress if it kills me. Chop the screw, that's the style that I will bring. Homicidal necrophilia, so feel me, bitch. Cause I'm fucking killing the way you ever rebelled. And after going against me, no defense, you can see what's still it. And you know it can't be understand that you proceed to jealous. But you won't offend me, no, not any rapper has a skeleton. So they break fast like cheating during Ramadan. When I perform my book, magic like the Necronomicon. Ripping up the flows, yes, you know that it goes on and on. Kevin Gates on stage, I kick it for the audio.
Feeling like there's no shame running through these cold veins. Can't feel my soul, I'm out of touch and feel no pain. And I've been thinking that I'm ready to die. No big deal. Can't leave, I still got plenty of life. I can't be killed.
But I'm feeling like I'm at the point. I'll either snap, go crazy, or mass destroy. This ain't a sham, so don't blame if I act annoyed. If you question what I rap and try to match the source, trying to get spins like breakers on harbor floors. It's hard when you couldn't ride a track with sliding doors. You can see I get spins like a laundromat. I believe I'm sicker than a hypochondriac. Yeah, your bitch clean and I'm calling it good. Pints all on my balls cause she polished the wood. Think I could if I want, but it's misunderstood. Leave blood on the walls like recording was shook. I'm depressed to the point that I can't just chill or relax, but goddamn it, I need beef in my life cause I'm famished. Plus I came to purge like bulimous after smashing on a full stomach. But I swear the answer is I'm a bad egg like ovarian cancer. Frankenstein on a beat race creating a master. Remix beautiful people like Marilyn Manson. It's alive when I'm screaming while I'm tearing up these raps. And I'm flashing bitches like Barry Allen in the sack. And I got your bitch nude, hippie hugging my tree trunk. For you, she be a little like a fucking Ewok.
Feeling like there's no shame running through these cold veins. Can't feel my soul, I'm out of touch and feel no pain. And I've been thinking that I'm ready to die. No big deal. Can't leave, I still got plenty of life. I can't be killed. There's no shame running through these cold veins. Can't feel my soul, I'm out of touch and feel no pain. And I've been thinking that I'm ready to die. No big deal. Can't leave, I still got plenty of life. You'll never kill me.
My whole life's been a waste of time. Feel like I lost my mind, can focus on my grind. The only thing I ever think about is bad shit. I think I've gone bad shit. I'm pulling out the ratchet to blast it. Put the gun to my dome piece. Pray to God that this dog may finally have found peace. Say goodbye to my homies, all my fans and fam and everybody else that knew me. Cause I was sick, I couldn't take it. I put a bullet right through my brain, bro. Fragments on the pavement, feeling fucking lower than the basement. The mark that I made in life, I really wanted to erase it. Rewind and replace it, go back to the basics. Wipe the slate clean, give my life a new facelift. I was lost in the darkness, alone with my hardships. Goddamn, this life's so heartless.
You ever felt you don't belong like me? Like you're surrounded by these people still alone like me? Well, I can heal you, I can help you, I can set you free. After you hear the rest in peace. Have you ever felt like you don't belong like me? Like you're surrounded by these people still alone like me? I can heal you, I can help you, I can set you free. After you hear the rest in peace. Have you ever felt like you don't belong like me? Like you're surrounded by these people still alone like me? I can heal you, I can help you, I can set you free. After you hear the rest in peace.
Hey yo, kids would tell me the reason these demons are chasing me around this room. I swear they wanna eat my soul. Trying to do better, but really I'm fed up. I hold that my mama don't get to read my suicide note. Everyone thinks that I'm doing better, but they do not see the pain in my heart. I'm ready to slit my throat. I'll put this gun up to my head, up blood pressure and scream out that God as I blow my load. I've been sitting with the devil on my shoulder for a minute. Fuck repenting, I just wanna reach the finish, but it wasn't helping. I was starting back at the beginning. I was never winning. I was always looking like the villain. My depression hit the ceiling. Now I'm having fits of rage. Trigger the gauge and try to open up my head to ease the pain, but this voice inside my rookie yelling, please don't go away. You make it out this hole, go ahead and put the gun away. Now start, like what the fuck you think you're doing if I die? How many lives am I gonna roll and suck it up? Go roll a blunt and keep it moving, cause the ones depending on you don't know what you're going through. Now stop, like what the fuck you think you're doing if I die? How many lives am I gonna roll and suck it up? Go roll a blunt and keep it moving, cause the ones depending on you don't know what you're going through right now.
Never felt you don't belong like me? Like you're you're surrounded by these people still alone like me. Well, I can heal you, I can help you, I can set you free. After you hear the can't take this pressure.
Hold my breath before I fall. I don't wanna be awake. Got this voice inside my mind that tells me I am nothing great. I fail to see the good in all. Positivity is gone. Allow my soul to leave my body and my blood to hit the wall. Feel this pressure, all this pressure. Feel it welling up inside me, all this pressure, all this pressure. In my mind, can move my body, my depression, my depression. I feel it welling up inside. I've been plagued by this anxiety, and I would rather die. I'm pissed off. I don't like rappers dropping shit songs. Jigsaw couldn't take a piece of me, my shit's raw. This all could be avoided if I would just lift off, but no one's ever listening when it spits off. Authentic life is like a box of bullshit, but I ain't gonna act like I'm not the culprit. I did what I did, I'm a man, but the shit is digging in my head. I'm about to go back to my Glock, to my school shit. But what kind of message would that leave for the kids? I guess they could teach a lesson about the demons within, and if they win, you lose 1 week and that's it. After the funeral, you cease to exist, and that's a sad truth. But what can a man do? Like myself in the damn booth when I get put in a bad mood. It's like I got a glass glued to my hand. Another night hugging the toilet, passed out in the bathroom. I will never run out of liquor as long as my thumb's on the trigger. Knowing death is upon you takes all of the fun out of living. When I get drunk, I'm the villain. I got a cup full of venom and I'm drinking it with my middle fingers up to the ceiling. I got little to no faith left. Fuck minimum wage paychecks. I'm ready to go apex predator and just break necks. So stay back, you'll get eaten alive. I got a list of 1,000,000 different reasons to die, but what matters is the one reason I don't. Fuck a friend and an enemy, I've been beat up by both. My family are the ones that keep me afloat, so they're gonna be the ones with me kicking our feet up on boats. I ain't leaving a note, cause I won't leave them alone. I know I would be a big missing piece of a whole, so excuse me if I wash away my sorrows with spirits. It's the only way I know how to clean up my soul. Let's go! Before I fall, I don't wanna be awake. Got this voice inside my mind that tells me I am nothing great. I fail to see the good in all. Positivity is gone. Allow my soul to leave my body and my blood to hit the wall. Feel this pressure, all this pressure. Feel it welling up inside me, all this pressure, all this pressure. In my mind, can move my body, my depression, my depression. I feel it welling up inside. I've been plagued by this anxiety, and I would rather die. Can't take this pressure.
God walks down.
Trey, let's go. Creep inside of mine without a guided light. Twin blades on me, I can teach him how to proper slice. Master a ceremony, show him how to rock a mic. Balls around your neck, I can show you how to rock a pipe. Right? This real life with a little spike. Nah, this real life with a little hype. I'm a little dog, but the ball got a bigger bite. Running around the town at 2 GM, player, fuck your lights. Lights, camera action on the scene. With y'all it's like a movie, bunch of actors on the team. I am Freddy, I attack and keep attacking in your dreams. Verbs pressing his luck, he don't want action with the team. If he did, luck's about that action for the green. We them underground goons going ratchet with the beam. Check the scheme, I am mean. You don't want me full of steam. This a warning shot for anyone who wanted with this heat. Go. These haters know that I be on my bullshit. I be sitting waiting patient for that bullshit, knowing they ain't ever gon' pull shit. I be on my gangsta, I'm in with a full clip. These haters know that I be on my bullshit. I be sitting waiting patient for that bullshit, knowing they ain't ever gon' pull shit. I be on my gangsta, I'm in with a full clip.
Y'all niggas really on your pivot, huh? But you don't understand the way that I be trippin'. Nah, I got the stove jumping, nigga, from the way I'm whipping. I try not to fall, cause I know they want me slipping. Drunk, broke in the alley, somewhere, bottle sipping. Speaking of drunk, are you seeing all the balls I'm hitting? Get a taste of that money and start acting different. I've been to jail, now I'm back and it's back to business. Hope my niggas get parole, interrupt the sentence. Played my role, now you see me coming out the trenches. Starting 5, I was seeing niggas on the benches. See them niggas dunk, see them niggas swish. Plus my flow stunk, I was on my bullshit. I had to pop the trunk, now I'm on my goon shit. Yeah, little nigga, let me make this clear. Check reviews 18, that is rated R, yeah. Haters,
these haters know that I be on my bullshit. I be sitting waiting patient for their bullshit, knowing they ain't ever gon' pull shit. I be on my gangsta, I'm in with a full clip. These haters
haters know that I be on my bullshit. I be sitting waiting patient for their bullshit. Knowing they ain't ever gon' pull shit. I be on my gangsta premiere with a full clip. I think it's time to tell you that your time is up. Name a movement out here that can rhyme with us. You shine, we bust, she fine, we fuck. Ain't no I inside a team, but her eyes I trust. Whoa, whoa, so why you hating with your hating ass? To feed the fam, I turn to crime like I'm Breaking Bad. They all laugh, but they don't ask. What your life's like me, I had to change that path. I was fast lane whipping, wood grain gripping, gully gun rhythm, how I'm trapping in the kitchen. Local loaf bumping, got the sauce god dripping. Mikey Skywalking, he gon' keep the sauce gods living. I am back, heart stopper, cardiac. I am cracked to the consumer, how I keep them coming back. I'm a bad batch, they hate, well that's rap. I don't care about opinion, shut your goddamn trap, go. These haters know that I be on my bullshit. I be sitting waiting patient for their bullshit. Knowing they ain't ever gon' pull shit. I be on my gangsta premiere with a full clip. These haters know that I be on my bullshit. I be sitting waiting patient for their bullshit. Knowing they ain't ever gon' pull shit. I be on my gangsta premiere with a full clip.
Yo, dressed in all black in the dark, camouflaged by the night. All the lights in the house are off now, and I'm grabbing onto my knife. The back door is unlocked, my mask is on, I'm inside. My freezer needs to be stocked, I'm stabbing all who's inside. So I move in, scan all the rooms. She's all alone like I assume. She's dying soon, but not too quick. I'ma take my time, I'm in a violent mood. Raid the kitchen, fuck buying food. Don't need the meat, she'll supply it soon. I'm on a diet and skinny bitches, I'm eating healthier, I'm trying to. She never stood a chance, she never stood up. After I severed vertebrae, brain was working, her death was certain. Obsessed with murder and every person. Don't ever trust me, I bet I'm worse than the best emerging. Extra working in the field of bringing death to persons. Man, I murder 'em.
Watch me put on a clinic, I did it for all who dig it. Nothing but raw, explicit, a visually scarring image. What makes you want to live in that body? You're non-existent. Let me lift this knife in your skin and take you to a level we all will visit. Looks like I found out where you live, and now I'm sleeping in your crib. You know that this might be an end. Looks like you got nowhere to run, and I'm about to have some fun. Staring at the barrel of my gun.
Crept in through the back door with a massive sword of sorts. Seen her at the back of the corridor, wishing she had some boarded doors, but of course it was too late, and I already chose her fate. Closed that gate, seen that fear all up on her face, till her brain sprayed from a flawless blade. Sick-minded, demented, did I mention bipolar, prone to get vengeance? Feeling happy deep down when I hear the chainsaw start with a rev like brain, and I really wanna end it, but I've been caught up putting little kids in detention. It's so easy to me, like a sixth sense in the river, bodies get tossed like a pigskin, and she was deep asleep when I went into a room and got beneath the sheets. I just spooned her, I just laid next to her in the bed, shaking while I beat my meat. I'm just lonely, I just want somebody to hold me while I'm rubbing it and need to ski. It's okay, babe, I don't really wanna hurt you, I wanna coerce you to be with me. She wasn't into it, I guess, cause she tried to run up out of the room, but I'm quicker than a bitch. She got thrown back quick like a bitch on the net, took the knife and I stick it to her chest. Yeah, I really wanna take it here, babe, but it seems like we can never make this right. So I plugged it in and it pulled it out, the blood sprayed while I drained her life.
Looks like I found out where you live, and now I'm sleeping in your crib. You know that this might be the end. Looks like you got nowhere to run, and I'm about to have some fun. Staring at the barrel of my gun.
As I kick and punch your doors down, I bet you wish to me calm down. 50 shades of page with about to break, girl, you know you've been holding out.
Yo, maybe it's the blood that triggered in the face, but the fetish much better when I get a little taste. I peeled off in the raw, in the off fashion. Never try screaming, that shit ain't lasting. Inside my brain is a slaughterhouse. You never even know till the organs out. As I fiddle with the liver, I'ma watch you shiver like my lips to the sight of you all strung out. Sick cocaine, if I can take my thoughts from the pencil. Better keep it broad unlocked. What I'm into is far from the mental. Never look up to these high-strung sluts. Ain't no love with these hoes, don't you know that? Snapping the body up on an old school Kodak. Guess I get the highlight deep in the snuff film. Bust on my neck, the side of their blood spill. Bitch, you wish you gave me that chance, but now I'm too hostile. Too far gone, bending your corpse to the spine goes a sign, yo. Swear I don't even know where my mind goes. When half the time, what is in my mind is best seen when your eyes close. Close.
Some murder shit. Murder bitches get away with it. Leave a motherfucking bullet wounded, then I play with it, I'm spraying shit. Laying motherfuckers down, ho, and lick a motherfuckers blood up on the ground, bro. This be the sound, ho. I'm from the town, ho, Pittsburgh. Where all the bitches' bodies found, ho. They talk about my spree on TV. They told my mom they wanna see me. See these eyes realize the pain of life's a strain. The lives and crazy dog, that's why I self-inflict with pain. That's why I fuck with Kane. I'm just like fucking man. I pull my motherfucking pistol out in public, man. It's just enough to change. I'm quick to bust my thing. I'm down to load a fucking slug and throw it in your brain. You can't imagine what I've been through. I'll drop the heat and grab the cancel. Looks like I found out where you live. And now I'm sleeping in your crib. You know if this might be the end. Explosion. Looks like you got nowhere to run. And I'm about to have some fun. Staring at you wearing my gun. Explosion.
Your family to dig your hole. 6 feet down, you're better off as long food. Always all that gets me in a bad mood. I'll make hell rain like a meteor shower. Run all you want, you'll be dead in an hour. Rubber coming down like a motherfucking guillotine. August is better, the class is my enemy. It takes a lot to piss me off, but I have a line and it has been crossed. Grind my teeth and start to twitch. Busting your eyes is my new mission. When you see us coming in the opposite direction, I get my hands on you and I apply an attention. Kill you a third time, crush your wind, but suffocate slow as you scream for your life. Run away from everything. Run away from me and better make it fast, cause my attitude's a flame and you keep throwing gas. Grinding my gears, there comes a halt. What comes next won't be my fault. If I break your knees, you will be crawling. I don't know why, but I like the stalling. Run away and try to flee. The hunt brings a little bit of thrill to me. Take a back to your ribs if I left out some aggression. A couple swings in, I found a new obsession. Am I gonna find you? Better count your blessings. Am I gonna hurt you? That's not the question. Vital signs start to decline. You're losing blood, you're out of time. Standing there after it's done. Scream, you show the fucking run.
grinding teeth. Your lifeless corpse laying at my feet. These bloodshot eyes, these grinding teeth. Your lifeless corpse laying at my feet. Your bitch ass better run. Liquor porn bitches talking. Back corner of the bar, that's a nigga's office. Hand to hands by the bathrooms, these niggas copping. Hennessy, take a sip while I'm fucking watching. Couple broads with the dick, but I ain't take the offer. Quiet vibing out, I ain't really talking. Learn with old age, that silence is a chess game. Bobby Fischer, Spassky, questions by the album. Writer's block, why'd you ask me? The strains of making classics. It's hard to make one, but after one they steady asking. So now I'm sitting back, pen and pad for the masses, hoping that a verse take me out to Calabasas. I'm not Drake though, order another drink. This one I'm gonna take slow. The smooth taste of brown liquor. Yeah.
I've been facing this cloud.
Hey yo, Jim, we gonna need to pour another
Time
one.
was hopes, but never stopped.
He's on this beat right now.
When I feel this way, my soul
Hey yo, Jim,
is at stake. Oh,
vibing out heavy sounds of the 70s. I can relate. I'm more Al Green and Kevin Gates. Got me thinking about my grandfather. Hope I reach the heaven gates. If I don't pour a drink, hell can wait. Got me thinking about my past, all the money in the beef. Pussy and a fat ass. Had a nigga losing sleep, cheating women, secret meets, different women now would eat, yeah. Lifestyle with treachery, wasted time they'd invest in me. Take another drink, the sound of the ice makes a soothing clink. Deep thoughts bring depression, almost bring me to the brink. It's a lesson that I learned from grief, can't express feelings, so I feed them to the beats. Yeah, and yo, I feed them to the beats. We just started this one off. Yeah, I want to welcome y'all to the Brown Liquor Classics. Well, we got Hennessy on tap. We got it all out here right now. Hey, yo, Chip, we bringing the soul back. Hey, Roscoe, we bringing the soul back, fam.
my mind is
This ways, ladies never been for me. I'm breaking from the box till free me, and I will never say sorry. Repeat, I came to set the wasteland free from defeat. Never been seen, never been heard. Because I'm born with the life and the masses. Get your release tactics and really so absurd. Nobody see the one is real and one is real. So the fun in the dimension, everybody's too scared. Cause if you're looking for truth, you're gonna find it. Put your body in shock and leave your reality blurred.
Another day of doing nothing like a mannequin is on me. I'm sick of living like I'm dying while I'm feeling like my heart is cause I'm bored of the life y'all content. Will you give me something crazy? They be hanging in suspension. Journey through the galaxy and pencil in the sentence. And we call it many things in this life, but it all boils down to a box that we live in. Maybe yours don't got bars and barbed wire around the perimeter, but it acts as a prison. Holding every single one of us back from marking and barking another kind of crazy expedition. And if you took me aside and started asking me why, I'll tell you the fact is nobody's really living. They all wanna block out, don't wanna talk about, seek out anything real. So if you ever really wonder where you came from, hit you with a light one, dark Darwin Steel. That's a box and it's full of nothing but rocks, so I'ma kick it down the block with zeal. Cause I came for the truth and the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and I ain't leaving till I know what's real. Show me God, show me something that is all shipping off to the galaxy. Follow me to the land of extremities where the mind of water be readily right ahead of me as I travel into the heart of the centipede. Like a maze of a winding on, I'ma break the box and respawn in the land where man explores the core of life and no time is gone to escape the land of waste. Another day and doing nothing like a mannequin is I'm sick of living like I'm dying while I'm feeling like my heart is I wanna break up on the box and discover new things. Show me God, show me something that is all shipping off to a place like I've seen in a dream. I've seen things with my very own eyes, not to make a your text was crumbling and fall apart. Everything the world thinks that it knows been blown out of the water inside of my own heart. Disavow, 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 wow. Everything amazing is in my dark arts. But I vow that I'll never be a puppet. I'm jumping out of the waste and automatically lighting the first spark. You're my discovery, hit or hover in front of me. But when I try to tell everyone that you're making fun of me, but the people around me saw every single amazing minute of what I sing. Now we've been James Dean stuttering. Ghost car shouts out to Sean Rye. Reliving memories that be put aside. Now I'm breaking free from the prison of society's alibis inside of the rioting, the fire that never dies. When you jump from the box and you make it be known, you get 86 for the mix. EGs make a circle around the house while I'm laying on the couch looking fierce a lick. Got burns on my bones while the devil's on the phone telling me these pills going quick. When a cycle kinetic cycles inside of me, wondering what side of me will I eventually pick. Another day and doing nothing like a mannequin is I'm sick of living like I'm dying while I'm feeling like my heart is cause I'm bored of the life I'm content with. Give me something crazy, leave me hanging in suspense. Journey through the galaxy and pencil in a sentence. Another day and doing nothing like a mannequin is I'm sick of living like I'm dying while I'm feeling like my heart is I wanna break up on the box and discover new things. Show me God, show me something that is all shipping off to a place like I've seen in a dream. Do something new, it's never been seen, never been break free from the wasteland and do something amazing.
guns like you tried to summon Beetlejuice. OJ of the underground, oh yeah, now the juice is loose. I'm hanging up by a noose, checking out my screws are loose. Drinking and driving cause I'm fucking death proof. I wanna crash and burning up, I'll walk ablaze. I'm filthy, deranged, maybe Satan's in my brain, but I never quit rapping until all I see is flames. Hit the stage of my ex bitch, make it break back and submit. I'm a freak, you really think that I give a shit when I'm beating on your dope? Trying to start a mosh pit, I really don't, and I never will. Never stop until I kill every human on this fucking planet. And even that won't fill me up with satisfaction, and I mean that shit for real. Stitches was my idol, now time for his revival. As I burn the fucking Bible, toss it up in the ground, burn the fucking venue down with myself inside. Laughing like a mammoth, cause fuck it if I die. Got a pocket full of sunshine, haha, just kidding. And a fist full of cyanide. Now do you see what it's like inside my filthy fucking mind?
No, you're done. I can't even be putting this shit. Fuck, dude, he's got another one.
Sick to the point that I need to be locked away in a cage, no one around under heavy locks and chains at the bottom of the ocean, so I can't cause any pain. All I feel is rage. My genetics are a mistake that God should have never made. I'm smoking, drinking, cause my hand whenever I'm on stage. When you look me in the face, you'll see all of my hate. Is it that great that I'm losing myself to the monster that I made? I'll never be a human in the eyes of society. I'm the boogeyman that dwells inside your psyche, living in the muck with thorns and poison ivy. My heart is so icy, I've tried asking nicely. Now say my fucking name before I feed you to the Pisces. Fuck it, I'll jump your body with a fucking steamroller. Feels like a boulder that's on top of my shoulders, maybe the top of my chest. Fuck it, just not like the rest.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy, The Rooster from Nine Stitch Method, and you're listening to Uncovering the Underground with my dude, Skippy Ickham, on Speaker Podcast Radio, keeping it 100% underground.
Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows crew. Do it like my strange crew. Do it like you paid to. Coming from the city that we ripped and we flamed through. My people in the game do we bleed and we pay through. Struggles on the streets that we beat and we gave through. Stopping ain't a choice, so we pull and we break rules. Running from the cops, FBI wanna take you. Talking about success, Illuminati wanna slave you. Darkness got a face here and Marcus wanna break through. We patiently we wait through the hatred and the fake fools. Rocking out on stage, got a breath, gotta take two. My people got the bait and the mass, time to slay through. Written for the broken and confined, time to make moves. Pushing from the back of my mind, got the great cruise. Platinum just a title that the industry will take you. Never turning back, keep it strange at the range too. Knowing about this game if you wanna play this game, fool. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows crew. Tell me what these strange do. Tell me about these strange fools. Tell me what I'm asking about these wicked and insane crews. You're talking about the pain, just the hustlers try to make moves. Talking about my family on the struggle, but ain't choose to. Talking about the pain and they bruise and they cruise to. Mothers of the families and the husbands on the work crew. Teens without a home, so they beat and they smoke through. Looking for success, every turn got a breakthrough. Until we reach success, ain't no stopping when we make moves. Laid in the bed, hearing voices got the shakes too. Crying through the pain till it's making me deranged too. Praying to a God, praying life ain't a fake too. Hoping for salvation, can the cross really save you? Instead of being saved by the church, time to change rules. Kicking with my wicked and insane and deranged crew. Talking about the strange, cause we living like we strange, fool. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange do. Do it like my strange in my lets and my lows crew.
This life is yours. And the thing, all you really had to do was reach out and take it.
Sometime you want it, time you want it. Put your word up on it, and let you have it, let you have it. Like a real society, this life is yours.
This life is yours, so what you gonna do with it, what you gonna make of it? Everybody gonna take from it, like a predator up in the jungle, to the prey with it. And if you don't give a damn, wanna give up instead of prevail, another motherfucker have his way with it. I take flight like an Nathan did, slingshot pop lives like a David did. And if you talk about my enemies, circling, nobody gonna be singing local mania kid. I'm like a reminiscent, I get the capital of my blood, sweat and time. I paid for this, all my rebels faking everything they say they did.
Can't keep it real, can't be about it. If you can't keep it real, then you better hurry up and reroute.
Gotta get it, boom boom, shakalaka. I'ma take this life at night, so right, never go wrong, and never let another brother shit a pipe. Pipes when I write my mind to my song.
I'm talking brain rights. This life is mine for the taking. If you don't think I'm capable, label, then you're mistaken.
Put up insane heights, trying to get that recognition. That all of my fans wondering why the fuck am I never ever giving. I'm like most of these dapper rappers, look, 'cause I lifelong musician. Never ditching addition, I'm low, same music for the last 20 years. Hardcore, but the only difference is that I never told myself this life is yours.
This life is yours. Sometime you want it, 'cause I ain't gotta take responsibility and put your word up on it. 'Cause anybody gonna give you something for nothing and let you have it. So you better get up, go out and get it, devil. Damn it, life is yours. This life is yours. Sometime you want it, 'cause I ain't gotta take responsibility and put your word up on it. 'Cause anybody gonna give you something for nothing and let you have it. So you better get up, go out and get it, devil. Damn it.
У тебя был шанс переписать свою жизнь, обойти остальных, дойти до финала игры. Как ты все хочешь быть победителем, но забыл зачем. Ведь счастливее был, когда ты был никем. Собрал свой бэнд, передай мне ушел, но не говори зачем. Большой сын и страх проебать свою шоу, проснуться 30 лет и понять, что нет. Зачем им петь, они не поймут твою боль. Им станут за твой спиной, чтобы разделить твой бой. Ты снова потух, ты что совсем тупой. Ты для всех том сой, тебя не ждут домой. Им нужен биф, а не соя. Твой бой не солнцем собой, если никто не поймет, не горе. Гитару настрой, главное выстрел, пускай холостой. Даже весь мир будет твой. Знаешь, кому трек, ты все про меня, ты бы задет, но не знал, что у трек про меня. Из шкафа скелет, я снова достал хмурый герой-одиночка, как Стивен Сигал. Я потерял всю IQ, как Макс Пейн. Проснулся час дня, что проебать свой день. Эти сны пленяют, как смертных 7. Ты покорен теперь, ведь знаешь, что как все. Проведи параллели, кто чем болеет, и кто свою волю навяжет тебе. Если б ты был умнее, остался бы верен только своей одинокой мечте. Проведи параллели, кто чем болеет, и кто свою волю навяжет тебе. Если б ты был умнее, остался бы верен только своей одинокой мечте.
Sometime you want it, 'cause I ain't gotta take responsibility and put your word up on it. 'Cause anybody gonna give you something for nothing and let you have it. So you better get up, go out and get it, devil. Damn it, life is yours. This life is yours. Sometime you want it, 'cause I ain't gotta take responsibility and put your word up on it. 'Cause anybody gonna give you something for nothing and let you have it. So you better get up, go out and get it, devil. Damn it, life is yours. This life is yours. Sometime you want it, 'cause I ain't gotta take
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to Uncovering the Underground, Spreaker Podcast Radio Show. I'm your host, Skippy Ickham of Brutal Business Entertainment. If you're listening in, please hit the share button and share us around to your family and friends. The more that you share us around, the bigger and better things we can do with the show. We want to thank you for tuning in tonight. You can listen to our shows live, or you can download them or stream them after the fact on www.spreaker.com or through the Spreaker Podcast app on your phone. You can listen live, you can share it, you can leave comments and talk to us during the show. So if you are listening in, feel free to leave comments off on the application. We'll see it off to the side here, and we will respond back throughout the show. We have a wonderful evening planned for you guys. As you just heard, an hour of unedited, uninterrupted underground music. And now we begin the interview portion of our segment here. And this is going to be tonight a great show, one I've been personally looking forward to for a while now. This is episode 8. And we are very excited. We've had several really great guests on, but this one is a very close personal friend of mine. He is a guy that's helped my career out a lot throughout the years of building Skippy Ickham and Brutal Business, and he's done a lot with his own career. So we'll be jumping into that in just a moment. And we want to give a shout out to Tattooed Scumbag Apparel. They are our sponsors. If you were listening, check out tattooedscumbag.com. It'll pop up, or you can look it up on Google at Tattooed Scumbag, and it's hoodies, shirts, hats, beanies, sweatpants, socks, you name it. They got great clothing. It's comfortable. It's priced right, supporting an awesome Pittsburgh-based company. And if you're a tattooed scumbag, I can't talk tonight, guys. If you're a tattooed scumbag like me, you'll love it. Now, also want to thank R3 Graphics, Rob Trey, great underground rapper, also the guy who made the flyer for the show, the banner for the show, and he every week makes the new updated flyer for the episodes that we put out. So we want to give him a shout out and show him much love. If you do need any type of graphic work designs, hit me up. I can get you in touch with him. Pretty soon we'll be putting together a commercial for him and airing it on the show. It is just not complete as of yet. We've got a couple great shows coming up for you guys. We do have a show on April 19th at the Baltimore House in the Pleasant Hills area of Pennsylvania. And it's going to be me, Ghost the Demented, and DJ GWK, all from Brutal Business Entertainment. And then you can catch us also in May, on May 18th, at the new Longhorn Saloon in Toledo, Ohio. So if anybody's listening out there in the PA area or Ohio areas, please come out to those shows. We got great performances set for you guys and some fun evenings of music. So hope to see you guys there. Without further ado, we're going to jump into the segment of the interview here on our show. And I just want to give a little bit of an introduction to my man here. Daniel James is an actor, filmmaker, and entrepreneur. In the process of pursuing his acting career, Daniel taught himself video production and launched his professional services titled Tragic Hero Productions and The Moment Imaging. Over the years, Daniel became fascinated by the concepts of metaphysics, and he since has infused his arts with such concepts such as extraterrestrial life, disclosure, quantum physics, and the evolution and ascension of consciousness. Without further ado, guys, I am very excited to bring on my friend and wonderful actor and director, Daniel James. How you doing tonight, homie?
Oh, I'm good, brother. Thank you so much for having me, man.
Absolutely. It was great to be able to get you linked up with the show and get you on here. I think we'll definitely have you on again down the road if you're interested. But we wanted to get you on here, get the world hearing a little bit more about your acting career, what you're involved in right now, and some of the things you got going on, and just to obviously catch up and kick it a little bit and have a good time together.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, I'd love to talk about what's going on right now, but I think what would be fun for both your audience and mine is to talk a little bit about how you and I met.
Absolutely.
I can kick that off.
Certainly, please do.
In 2015, we had moved up from Buffalo, New York to the Pittsburgh area, and my girl at the time was going to school, and I was pursuing my acting career. There's a little bit more of a market for an acting and an entertainment industry in Pittsburgh than there was in Western New York at the time, so that's why her and I moved up here. But as a freelancer, my acting journey started with I always wanted to pursue a professional acting career. And so what I decided to do was I decided to teach myself video production. I taught myself how to shoot short films, how to operate a camera, how to do basic video editing. And what I wanted to do was produce independent short films that I could also act in for like training, for experience. And in doing so, I shot so much video. We started doing so many short films that I ended up getting into video production and offering it as a service. And I went into freelancing in 2013. I left the 9-to-5 idea and I went into offering video as a service full time. So when we moved to Pittsburgh in 2015, the first thing that I wanted to do was establish myself as a content provider and somebody who offers a video service in the area. And at the time, my favorite video to shoot was music videos, whether that was for metal bands or singer-songwriters or rap artists. I just liked shooting music videos. So the first thing that I did was I added myself to a handful of acting and filmmaking groups in Pittsburgh and then a couple music groups. I found that, starting out in Buffalo, finding music groups on Facebook and Craigslist was a good way to meet artists who might be interested in, having a video produced. So I posted out a couple. Yeah, I posted out a couple ads on two of the music groups in Pittsburgh. And I think, if I remember correctly, you might have to help me out here, but I either found you advertising your music or you saw my post offering a video service. Either one of those two. It was 2015, and I shit you not a week after living in Pittsburgh, it was less than a week that we moved into our place that you and I connected. And I said, hey man, I am new to the area. I shoot and edit video. I'm a freelance videographer and I love shooting music videos. I see that you're a rapper and you got a thing going. I was wondering by chance if you had any music videos or if you were interested in having a video produced. Hit us up, let us know. We'd love to talk to you. And you hit me back right away. You didn't hesitate. You're like, you know what? I have been thinking about that. It's not something that I've really done yet, but I know that I need to sort of get into that idea for my music. And so we started talking and going back and forth. And you said you had some concepts for a video. And I was like, hey man, let's talk. So
I remember vividly because what happened was, and you definitely nailed it. The part that you were a little foggy, I can help fill in. You found me on one of the local group music sites, our chat systems, the group pages, right. And you messaged me and said, hey, I found you on such and such page, and exactly what else you just said about, have you thought about, production work on music videos? Is it something you do, something you have? And at the time, it was something that I was looking to do, and I hadn't done. I already had an established name, already had played out of state, already played a ton of shows, had a nice following. But the one thing I was lacking on is I didn't have any music videos. I had great artwork. I had all kinds of other dope art and things involved with my music itself and my image, but it didn't have the music video section. And, we linked quick. I remember you reaching out. And the funny thing is I get a lot of people that hit me up, check my music out, bro, or check out this, check out that, or hey, I'm a beat maker. And there's nothing wrong with that. Hit me up, send me your links. It's just hard to get a chance to check everybody out or want to work with everybody. I'm kind of very specific on who I work with or I create with, especially on that end. If I'm doing a project with you, I'm going to be very specific there as well. But that's a little bit different than if we are doing like something to build Skippy Ickum itself. It had to be the perfect fit. And ironically enough, you messaged me, and I remember when I read it, I'm like, should I answer him back or no? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, the way he presented himself, the way he came across to me, I said, I respect the way he just reached out to me rather than just, hey, man, I make videos, check it out, let me know. Because that's what a lot of people do. They don't know how to present themselves. So when I read it, I'm like, okay. You sent me a couple of links, I think, to check you out. And I watched one of the bands that you did a music video with, and I'm like, that was a pretty fucking awesome video. I'm like, wow, the production's good. It's clean, smooth. I said, you know what, I don't see, and you ended up sending me some more rap videos, but I couldn't see any at first. So I'm like, I don't think he's ever really worked with rappers. How would that work with me? And I'm not your normal rapper. What could we do? And then we just started talking, instantly, hit it off together. And I remember us meeting, at Robinson Town Square, in the Pittsburgh, PA area, and it was just an instant click. That night, I remember shooting that video, and the three of us had so much fun shooting, and it wasn't just a job for you guys, wasn't just a job for me. It was a fun time creating with new people that had the same type of mindset, creating something what I feel is amazing. It's The Sickness was an amazing video, and the project just ran so smooth. I remember us having a blast, and I left that night feeling fulfilled, doing my first music video. I knew it was going to be awesome. I had fun with you guys creating it, and I just remember whenever you first sent it to me for its release, and I checked it out and watched it, I'm just like, wow, that's magic. And then that from that point forward, obviously we've created, I think, 7 other music videos. I believe at this point we have 7 solo out and we did that chunk of a video together at your friend's house, fellow actor, that we did that segment for Dawn Arise.
Yeah, man. I mean, that first night since sickness, like once we connected on that first video, you didn't hesitate. Like you said, you know what? I got to do this, and I think you're the one to do it. And you came at us with a concept. Me and Sammy reworked it a little bit. That we built a story for you, which coming from a background of filmmaking, I think that's what really like worked for your image and your brand and your story and your music. Is there was a narrative to the video. It wasn't just all performance. And we went out that night. We shot for 6.5 straight hours in the dark.
Yes, we did.
At night and we all had a blast, dude. Like, you left feeling good. Me and Sammy felt great. And I still think it's one of like the dopest videos that we did. And it was like very impromptu. It was fast. We put it together quick and it came out dope. Like we said.
We put it together. We brainstormed it. We kind of went on the fly. I mean, the woods that night, the dragging of the body in the video, had to figure out the garbage bags, the fucking shirt burning and almost killing me.
Yeah, dude, you breathing in straight smoke for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, folks. So listen, we had to go a little impromptu on the video shoot, and we had to make a torch. So if you ever seen my music video, Sickness, you see me holding the torch in it. When I'm singing the hook, I'm a little brain sick, I got that evil on my mind. During that part of the video, you see me waving a torch back and forth. Well, during that shoot of that, we had to figure out how to get a torch. So we wrapped a T-shirt around a chunk of a log, and we pretty much doused it in something
Lighter
and lit
fluid.
it on fire, and we were burning it like a torch. And it was a great idea.
It looks dope, but the smoke was going straight into your face for like literally the whole shoot.
And it was vile smoke. It wasn't just like, okay, wood's burning. Like, it was whatever the chemicals are in the shirt, it was coming back at me. And when I would take a breath in, it would almost make me gag, like this chemical taste. And I'm trying to rap over and be filmed and be dead on and everything. And you know what? We nailed it.
And I was like, come on, let's do another take. You're like, oh, okay, Dan.
We did like 3 takes, I think. And it was like the third one, and I'm like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die doing this video. Like, literally, I will release it. I'll still have Dan do it, but I'm probably not going to make it past tonight.
You're just like, I hope I live to see this greatness. But
Good
yeah,
times,
since
though,
then,
man. That was a great music video, which I said, like, it led to so many more awesome bodies of work. You got Sickness, Demon in the Darkness. We got Saved by the Shell. We have True Psycho, which was not only a music video, but was a music video and short film. Which was, kind of a brainchild of us working together there and wanting to bring something more than just music video. We were already bringing you guys the storylines and the production, but we wanted to show you a little bit beyond, that. I wanted to show you a little bit inside my mind with the story that, Dan and I created together, and he wanted to show you his way of portraying that on film. And
it was a blast. It was a
very
that
was a good one
collaborative. We all, you, me, Sammy, and Eric, we all wrote it together.
We
and
did.
We all threw in ideas, and it was like it's literally all of your music videos. From my perspective and the work that we do together, for any horror fans listening, you need to know that we do a lot of horror together. That's the genre that we prefer. It's the best, genre that portrays, Skippy's music. And True Psycho, it's a straight up horror film. It was
really
amazing.
is.
I got to play a part in it as an actor, which I love acting, and so having the opportunity to portray a character in your film was a blast. And what else we got? We got Apparitions.
So Apparitions, Saved by the Shell, True Psycho, Demon in the Darkness, Sickness.
I feel like
Almost Famous.
Almost Famous. That's the one right there. We're going to talk about that later.
Yeah, we're going to come back to Almost Famous and talk a little bit about that. So for any fans of the Almost Famous video, for the Disclosure community, for for the conspiracy theory community, if you were listening out there, stick around. We're going to get some, a little bit more involved in those type of conversations here in a little bit. Also about that music video, which is heavily derived from, obviously, just all kinds of truth that, we portray and show to you during the video. So if you haven't seen that video, you should check it out. It's an awesome music video. It's Skippy Ickham, Almost Famous. It's on YouTube, any online major retailer. Check it out, watch it. If you can't watch it, listen to it. But definitely a dope song, trying to tell you to open up your mind, see outside the box that they try to keep you in.
So let me jump back in here real quick. So So from that day that we met and we did Sickness, Skippy was impressed with the work that we did, and Sammy and I had so much fun working with you. You know, we felt kind of welcomed in a way, you know, just having moved to Pittsburgh and trying to meet people, not just build establish a client base, but to meet, you know, lasting connections was important to us. And when we met and we did that project, we kept in touch, you know, we got to know each other over the years. And not only, you know, do I have a lot of gratitude for the fact that you value our work and you like the things that we do together, but it works both ways. You know, I am a freelance videographer, entrepreneur, like you said. And when you're freelance, you know, you have to have your hands in a lot of pots, and I'm doing a lot of things in order to support my cost of living while I pursue an acting career. And what's important to someone like myself is having, you know, the repeat business and having loyal customers that come back and keep throwing you business, keep throwing you work, networking and marketing and promoting, and having you kind of like help push Tragic Hero in that way was very supportive in the years, over these last 4 years, almost 5 years now, because I've, in pursuit of my acting career, I've moved back and forth in and out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I've gone back to Buffalo multiple times. I went to New York City once, and over the years, you and I had become friends. We have a genuine friendship, and so you know a lot about my personal journey and the things that I've gone through over these last almost 5 years. And throughout that entire process, you've still been there to help promote my work, give me shout outs, and most importantly, throw me business. When I moved out of state after you and I connected, you didn't stop hiring me. You kept booking me for shoots and kept hiring me for music videos, and that, you know, that business helps me and continues to support me in my own endeavors and my own journey and my own goals. So, you know, I just wanted to express gratitude for that over the years, you know, your loyalty and hiring me to do your videos for you and believing in me and my journey. It's been very helpful, man. I appreciate that.
No, not a problem, brother. I mean, I've always been a firm believer that if someone does right by you, they're a good, genuine person, they do good work, they have good work ethic, then that's the people you should be working with. I mean, there's a lot of people that want to work with everybody because, I just don't want to work with the same people all the time. Well, that's okay if you want to work with other people, but you're setting yourself up for potential failure. When you find people who connect with you, who you get along with, who have those traits, you don't really need to look outside of that anymore.
Right.
And I've always been, maybe rappers and different things that I work with, sometimes I will mix it up. Don't get me wrong. I do like to work with other artists. But when it comes to like the visual side and the presentation, whether that be my engineers and producers, whether that be my album artwork or my album artist that does my artwork for my albums, or if it be the music videos or photography, when I find someone that's solid, that does good by me, that we connect, I keep that person. There's no need to look any further.
When you find something that works, you know, you don't want to start all over. And
you start to build up a certain type of look. I mean, if you're jumping with, say I jumped to 5 different video producers out there, and that's great. We could come up with different looks and different avenues, which there's nothing wrong with that. But then what are you really trying to sell? What are you really trying to push? Because you're constantly looking different.
Right, absolutely. You know, and that gets back into the more business side of branding. You know, when you've established a look and an aesthetic for yourself, it's risky when you veer away from that and start working with people who may or may not understand your approach and your aesthetic and the way that you like to portray yourself. And it's almost like starting all over, and then you risk them misinterpreting that and then things coming out a lot different than you're used to or that you're comfortable with, you know, not in a negative way, but you know what I'm saying?
No, I completely understand. You branding is very important. I mean, branding is one of the most important things. You have to have, if you're just constantly making 20 different songs that sound 20 different styles, putting out 6 different music videos that all have a completely different look and feel to them. You come out on stage wearing all black and looking gothic one night, and the next day you come out and you're wearing fucking bright clothes and look completely different and dressing, you know, all kinds of different ways. You're just throwing mixed signals and messages to people, and they don't know how to take you, and they're kind of just like, all right, I don't know what this dude is. You have to have at least, you don't have to be the same all the time, but you have to have a brand. You have to brand who you are so that people recognize, like, oh, that's his style, that's his flair, that's his finesse. If you don't have that, you're not actually doing yourself a justice. You're hurting your career. You have to have the storyline that people follow.
I completely agree. And on that topic, that's a good segue into something I'd love to talk about.
Absolutely, go ahead.
Not having had the platform like this to really talk about what's going on. I've been pursuing my acting career for 9 years, and that's manifested in a lot of ways. You know, leading into filmmaking and video production is one of those. I am union, so I'm a union actor, and I was actually talked into going SAG-AFTRA by another union actor on the set of a TV show one time. He told me, hey man, if you want to have a professional career, you got to buy your SAG card, you got to go union. It's like it's one of the steps that you got to do. And I was eligible to join, but hadn't really wanted to pull the trigger and commit to that yet.
Okay.
But when this one guy really talked me into it, somebody that I respected and somebody that I look up to as an actor, he talked me into it. I did. I bought my card, and I got to be honest, ever since I did, it's done nothing but hold me back. It's done nothing but actually stifle and limit my opportunity to the point where I'm turning down paid work as an actor, having opportunities to do things that will be distributed, and I'll make a little bit of money doing it, but can't do it because they're just not in the position to unionize their production for me so that I can speak in it as an actor. Okay. So once I went union and I realized that it was a lot harder to get work, you know, I audition, I have an agent, you know, I put myself out there, and I do what actors need to do in order to pursue that journey. I've still found it very challenging to break in. You know, I haven't gotten that cherry gig, that cherry role that every actor looks forward to that gets their foot in the door, you know, breaks them into the industry. That hasn't happened for me. And, you know, I've been pursuing an acting career professionally for about 4 years. So in studying branding, for those who are familiar with Skippy's music videos, you'll see that all of the music videos we produce together, they're under the title Tragic Hero Productions. Well, my partner and I are in the process of launching a new video service, and that's it's kind of like the second addition to Tragic Hero, which is the Moment Imaging. And it is still a creative video service, much like Tragic Hero, but we'll be offering some different services in that idea. And when we're splitting off right now from Tragic Hero Productions to the Moment Imaging and offering a video service, part of that process is rebranding. So I didn't know exactly how to do that from a business perspective and from like a marketing perspective. And in doing so, I studied the concept of branding and started to understand it a bit better. And that ties back into my acting career. So let's say, for example, you are an aspiring actor. You want to be in the big leagues and you want to be a career-based professional. But say, for example, you don't live in a market that really supports that opportunity. Or let's say you go to, 20, 30, 40, 50 auditions and you're not landing a part. Well, that's where I'm at. And I'm sitting here looking at my career, and I'm looking at the independent films that I've been producing for the last 10 years. And in my independent films, I also act in them, because that's my passion. I mean, I only ever started producing video because I wanted to be an actor. So yes, I do put myself in my films. It's fun. I enjoy it. I love it. And I'm sitting here like, okay, in 2015, we start getting into, my team, Sammy and Eric, we start getting into metaphysics, spiritual concepts, things like the law of attraction and manifesting your reality. And we start studying quantum physics and understanding the concept of densities and dimensions. And that sort of idea led me into the interest of things like aliens, extraterrestrials, and then that led me into studying other concepts in the spiritual community. So we produced this movie called Those Who Seek, which I was obviously an actor in it. I play Felix Fox. And that was sort of my way of coming out in saying, not only am I an actor and a director and a filmmaker, but I'm also really passionate about these concepts, such as like law of attraction and general metaphysical ideas. And so when we came out and did Those Who Seek, which was a very spiritual film, I said, you know what? This is part of my identity now. I'm really passionate about these concepts, so much so that like my life is sort of based on a lot of these ideas that I was learning and studying about metaphysics. And so I start getting deeper into it, and I start studying the concept of what's called as channeling, which is similar to being like a psychic medium. And what a channeler is they will alter the brainwave frequencies to almost work like a conduit, almost work like a cell phone that sends and receives data, and you can actually channel the consciousness of other entities. And that's what Those Who Seek was about. So I taught myself how to channel, and now here I am, an aspiring actor who's getting crazy about all these metaphysical concepts, and now I'm channeling aliens and doing movies like sci-fi films and stuff. And this has all of a sudden become like a major part of my life, my everyday life. And as I do more of these films, I'm having people that I've never met before, strangers from the internet, sending me emails and sending me Facebook messages saying, "Hey, Daniel, I saw your film on this concept where you're talking about, the law of attraction, and you're talking about other dimensions and aliens. Could I ask you some questions?" And I'm like, okay, sure. I mean, I'm no certified, specialist, but I'd love to shed any light on your questions that I can. And so all of a sudden it just became a thing where privately people were coming to me and asking me questions about extraterrestrials and how to manifest things or use the law of attraction and how to meditate. And I'm just giving these people all these tutorials and sharing my knowledge. And so I'm sitting here, and it's now like 2016, 2017, and I'm privately teaching metaphysics at this point to people all over the world and sharing what I know. And I'm like, wow, I actually do know a lot about this stuff, and I'm integrating it into my films, and it's become a part of my life. And now here I am, a struggling actor with multiple survival jobs, multiple freelance services that I offer to support myself financially while I pursue an acting career that's just not popping. No matter how many auditions I've gone to, how many headshots and resumes and demo reels I mail in, and moving to bigger markets to pursue my career, my professional acting career has not manifested the way that I would prefer it to. And so I'm looking at myself in terms of, having multiple businesses, and in the process of rebranding Tragic Hero Productions and infusing that into the Moment Imaging, I start looking at my career, as a public figure, and I say, okay, what if I rebrand myself? Daniel James, the actor and director who's been doing this, for 9 years now, I'm still doing that very much. I'm going to a major film premiere in Buffalo on April 20th for a feature film that I worked on for a year. And then I'm finishing post-production up on another short film that I was an actor in and also did some editing on, and we're finishing that up right now, and that's going to have multiple screenings around Pittsburgh and Buffalo as well. So I'm still doing that, and that's where most of my time is spent. But as an actor who hasn't gotten his break, I'm looking like, what else can I do? What other options do I have available to me where I can stay productive, continue working on my craft and my passion, which ultimately is being in front of the camera. I just fucking love being in front of the camera. I love acting. I love it. It's like my heart and soul. And imagine this, okay? Imagine if a very successful actor tells you, Daniel, you have to go get your SAG card. That's what you need to become a career-based professional. And then I do that. And I sit there for 3 years and I don't work. I don't speak. I can't do short films or independent films now that are non-union. And I can't land any professional industry, roles that are going to pay the bills. I've had a couple things here and there, smaller things, but nothing big. I have had my break. So now all of a sudden, my dream and my passion to be nothing's happening now that I've gone union, right? So I looked at my situation and I said, what can I do to get back in front of the camera and continue doing what I love, continue chasing my joy and my passion and my excitement? And then it hit me one day. I said, you know what? People come to me to teach them about metaphysics, educate them on certain, disclosure ideas, and we can talk more about those tonight if you'd like. And how could I infuse that into my joy, which is being in front of the camera? And so I called the union and I asked them what my options were. I told them the situation that I was in and asked them what my options were. And they said, well, Daniel, you can do anything you want as yourself. But if you're, you know, if you're cast in a unionized production, or you're cast in a narrative idea where you're portraying a fictional character, it needs to be a union. It needs to go through the union. Otherwise, you cannot do it. And I paid a lot of money, you know, to be a union, and you can't just leave the union and come back to it. They're very limiting in that way. So I talked to a rep, and they explained to me, anything that you do where you're portraying yourself, we don't touch that. Have fun, go crazy. And I said, thank you very much. And I hung up. And from that moment, it was almost like I didn't stop pursuing my acting career. I've still done auditions, and I've still sent demo reels in and stuff and things like that. I've still sent resumes, but tying into my big speech here about rebranding, I'm rebranding myself right now. I'm going through the process of, yes, I'm Daniel James. I'm an actor and a director and a filmmaker, and I'm always going to do that the rest of my life. But I'm trying to focus my energy in the areas that I still have power, in the areas that I'm still in control over my career. So I'm in the process of creating a web series that will be free to watch, and it's called Reality Mechanics with Daniel James. And these are creative lectures. They're creative interviews on a metaphysical topic that I'm passionate about, and I know enough about that I can teach a lecture on it. And I'm very, very excited to do this because A, I'm in control of the project. B, I'm in front of the camera doing what I love. And C, I've woven in these metaphysical ideas that my life is based on now into my art, into my work, that I have full control over. So we're doing this show, Reality Mechanics, and then we shot one episode in Buffalo. We're shooting another episode here in Pittsburgh this month, and then we have 2 more because season 1's only going to be 4 episodes.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, check this out. My guy, Brad Johnson from Canada, he and I met online through Facebook in 2015 when I was producing the movie Those Who Seek. Well, Brad Johnson is a renowned channeler. He's known all over the world, so much so that he's flown to Japan to do his channeling. That's what he does for a living. It's how he earns his income. And he offered to be in Those Who Seek. He offered to jump on board and become a producer on that project, and he helped finance it. He was in the film to help promote it. You know, when you have a public figure in your work, it helps with the exposure. So
absolutely.
You know, so Brad did a lot to help Those Who Seek and push it out there, and we developed a friendship. So Brad said, hey man, you guys produce amazing short films for, you know, low budget, no budget. I love the work you guys do. Would you be interested in working on a project with me? So Brad asked Tragic Hero Productions to help him produce his story, which is called The Inbound. And it's the story about a young girl who's human, who was taken off of Earth when she was a child and raised by aliens. And then what she does in the process of being raised by extraterrestrials is she's being trained to come back to Earth and help liberate Earth from a shadow government. So we developed this relationship with Brad, and over the years, you know, we're helping each other out. We're working on projects together, and we're collaborating. And then recently he came to me and he said, Daniel, I want to do something very ambitious, and I want you involved. I want to launch a streaming network that's very similar to Netflix, very similar to Hulu or Amazon Prime or Gaia TV, for those who are familiar with Gaia TV. Gaia TV is like the Netflix of the spiritual community.
And I'm familiar with them.
Right. So he wants to launch this. He wants to launch his own subscription-based network, and it's called Awoken TV. Well, since Brad and I had a relationship since 2015, producing independent films together and maintaining a friendship, he asked me if I would come on board, and he hired The Moment Imaging to be the lead video editor. We're a third-party video editing vendor for Awoken TV, which was awesome because that's a job right there that he's offering us right out of the gate. So The Moment Imaging goes live like a month and a half ago, and then we land our first big client, which is Awoken TV, and that's amazing. So then he says, you know, Daniel, you're so proficient in your metaphysics, and you're also a channeler as well. He noticed that I have somewhat of an online presence. He offered me a show. So the way Awoken TV works is he wants to have a large list of teachers that give coaching and practices, teachings, lectures on spiritual concepts, whether it's yoga or meditation or channeling or general metaphysics or even tarot, anything that's like in that sort of spiritual idea. This is the network for that. And he wants to have teachers host their own original show on the network. So he brings us on to be the video editors, and then he also offers me my own show. He goes, you can do whatever you want. You want to do your reality mechanics show, you want to teach metaphysics, whatever you want. I said, well, you know what, Brad? I don't channel publicly very much. Channeling isn't something that I really set out to do as a profession. Now, there is a profession in it. I know a lot of people who generate their annual income just offering channeling as a service, but that was never really something that I was passionate about. I only taught myself how to channel so that we can do it in the movie Those Who Seek. So I sat down and I talked to my team about it, and I said, well, what can we do on this Awoken TV network? There's a lot of potential that down the line when the subscription base increases, everybody will, be able to generate an income. There will be, profits and commissions made after the network grows in subscription base. We can make money producing a show. What should we do? So my team said, why don't you just do a channeling show where you channel exclusively on Awoken TV, and maybe that would be good for subscribers, and that would also be an outlet for you to be able to do that spiritual passion of yours in more of a public way, whereas before, over the last 4 years, I just don't do it. I do it privately for friends and family here and there, but it wasn't really something that like I put a channeling video of myself on YouTube. It just wasn't, my path until now. So we decided to do the channeling show, right? And the idea is you produce one episode a month or one episode a week, 30 minutes long. We told Brad that we would do one 30-minute episode a month until the network, increases in subscription base, and then once we start generating some form of income on the show itself, we might be able to do it more often, or increase the production value, or maybe even do weekly episodes. So the network officially launched on April 6th, which is just a couple days ago, and since then we have a little over 100 subscribers, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but it is, in the sense that it is a paid subscription site, and it just launched a few days ago.
Absolutely.
And Brad tells me we have the #1 show on the network, which means we have the most views, we have the highest rating on our show on the network as it is right now. And although it is early, there in the sense that 100 subscribers is not a lot, it is kind of cool to hear that at the launch of this network, which has a lot of potential to become successful, is the #1 show. And so I'm sitting here like, maybe this was the missing puzzle piece in my journey. I'm trying so hard to become a successful career-based actor. Nothing's popping. I'm not landing any roles. I'm not making, anything in the way of a sustainable income pursuing an acting career. And then all of a sudden I remember that I'm passionate about metaphysics and teaching metaphysics. It's very exciting to me. I love to talk to people about these things. So we do the reality mechanics show, and then all of a sudden we get offered our own spot on this network, which has the potential to grow in size and become very successful. And we have the #1 show on the network. This is a very long-winded roundabout way of explaining this, but what I'm trying to say is I'm in the process of rebranding myself. I'm in the process of rebranding my own image as a public figure, in the sense like, yes, Daniel James is known for acting and producing independent films, but I also want to get myself out there as somebody who, spreads consciousness, somebody who teaches concepts that a lot of people may or may not be familiar with. It's something that I'm really genuinely passionate about. And I just tripped over that in 2015 when we decided to produce a movie about this stuff. And now I'm starting to do that, and pursue that as a career. So that's very exciting for me. But rebranding is a little scary. It's a little scary coming from the idea that everybody knows me as this one thing, and now all of a sudden I'm presenting myself in a new way. And let's be honest here. I think that we can speak clearly on your network that there's a lot of judgment attached to certain ideas that I'm passionate about. okay? And I'm using that analogy in the sense that let's talk about horror, okay? Let's talk about some of the music videos that we do and some of the stories that we like to tell and some of the lyrics that you have. You got to tell me right now, you got to tell the audience right now that you get a lot of shit for that. You get a lot of judgment from people judging you about the things and the stories that you like to tell. Am I right or am I wrong? You get a lot of shit.
Get a lot of people who are not necessarily into the same things I am, and that's fine. It's funny how it's always one way, because I don't mind what they listen to or what they want to write about. Your music's your music, or what you listen to is fine, but they don't look at it the same way. A lot of people hear the music that I make and the videos that I make and the things that I portray, and they automatically assume that I'm this horrible, evil person, and then I'm getting hate mail telling me you should burn in hell, fuck you, hope you die, dude. Shit like that.
It kills me when I see
the
that.
other day, I'm sure, that was telling me something about, you give all Juggalo community a bad name. You are the scum that we don't associate ourselves with, and he's like, which is weird because I'm not a Juggalo, folks. So I never claimed to be. I have a lot of Juggalo fans, a lot of Juggalo followers, and that's great. I've always been a part of the movement and always supported the family, but I've never once in my life claimed to be a Juggalo. It was funny that this guy's telling me how my image and what I portray is that I'm making Juggalos look bad whenever I never said I was one. So it's kind of strange there, and he started saying that I portray things that I don't even do. He said about posting pictures of ripped apart dogs and stuff like that, which is actually kind of funny because I'm one of the biggest animal lovers anybody could ever meet.
That's the thing.
It's just really weird to me. He's telling me I'm posting dead dogs and shit, and I'm like, yeah, bro, never in this lifetime would I, because that's the 100% opposite of what I would ever do.
So here's my point. I know you personally on a personal level, okay? You're a nice fucking guy. You're professional when we work together. You are good about business. You grind harder than most of the people I know at this level. You know, you're out there trying to do your thing, and a lot of your content, a lot of some of your music and the things that you depict and that we depict together, they're in the horror genre, and some of them are explicit and graphic. But I'm telling you right now, you're one of the nicest dudes ever, dude. You are a good person. You are a good person.
People always get a kick out of that. I always tell stories that I'll walk off stage and people walk up to me and be like, "Hey man, dope music." I'm like, "Thank you so much, sir. It was really nice to have you watch my show. I really appreciate you standing up front." And they're like, "Oh, wow."
Right.
And several times I've been like, "What's up?" And they're like, "I didn't expect that." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "You're up there and you look evil. Your eyes change when you're on stage." They're like, "You're so intense. You're so graphic." And then you're like one of the nicest guys I ever met, and you're very respectful and humble. And I'm like, "Well, yeah." I said, "I'm just a regular guy. I'm just a guy with a passion. I'm a guy that loves what I do. And it just so happens that what I love to do is make dark music, dark imagery. It's just what I like. It doesn't mean I'm a bad person. Like I said, I'm an animal lover. I'm a very nice guy. I'd give you the shirt off my back if I knew it could help you. But
it's true.
I just like dark shit.
And so there is judgment around that. And
there's judgment, exactly. Just like where you're at. With the things you're into, people want to judge because...
Thank you. Exactly.
I think they don't understand it.
They don't understand it, bro. So here's what the situation I'm in. Daniel James, the actor and the filmmaker, who is somebody who also offers a professional video service, okay? And there's a certain way that you kind of have to portray yourself and handle yourself when working in those particular markets, right? And I'm pursuing a professional acting career in a mainstream industry. We got to use that word tonight, mainstream industry. And now all of a sudden I'm coming out as like, oh yeah, well I also like aliens, and I also think that we're multidimensional beings that exist in, an infinite number of parallel realities. And I also believe that we're all God. And people are like, what? What are you talking about? Like, what does that even mean? And I'm like, yeah, I know. Okay, well, let me start at the beginning. And so it's hard going through that process of being like, okay, Daniel James, the actor, director, filmmaker, to now Daniel James, this guy who's talking about aliens. There's a lot of judgment around that.
I think it kind of worked out though, because as you were explaining during your part there, where you were explaining how everything kind of came to be, you always fail until you don't.
Right.
And you said, so there's a couple parts I wanted to touch on. You always fail until you don't, meaning that you've been trying on the acting side over and over again, and it hasn't been what you were hoping it would be in certain roles that you've done, though you've done some great roles.
Correct.
You're waiting for that spotlight role, but it's always going to not be the role until it is that role.
Correct.
And I think if you continue to do what you do, it's going to happen for you. But at the same time, I think that maybe things happen for a reason. You trying over and over again, not getting the roles you want, jumping back and forth between a couple of cities, trying to figure out how you want to pursue your career.
And you were there for that.
What's that?
You were there for that. You were supporting me.
I was there for that. And I think those things help, though, because the failures helped make you try a couple different things, and you're trying to figure out what was working for yourself. You end up coming across your friend who, started giving you different roles and options of trying different things that you weren't necessarily doing. And like you said, with the channeling, you did it for a role, never thought it'd be much more than that. And now it's turned into something much bigger. The failures have pushed you in a direction to go opposite of what you thought you would do, which have turned you to exactly where you're at now, which turned to this streaming device. Woke. Did you say was it called Woke? You said
it's called Awoken TV.
Awoken. Okay.
Yeah.
So Awoken TV, and that's awesome because think, if everyone followed exactly what they wanted to do, there would be a lot less new ideas.
Correct.
People fail. People don't get where they thought they were going to be, so they go a different direction, which ultimately ends up leading to all kinds of new things that we never would have known happen. All kinds of new genres of music, new styles of artwork, and different styles of movies. So your switch in direction seems like an inconvenience, but that switch in direction might have been exactly what was supposed to happen and should happen.
Absolutely. It's almost like there's a synchronistic magic to the way that I pursued this acting career, and I moved to these cities, and I invest so much money and time into myself, and it doesn't manifest. But in the process of my doing so, I meet this person, I meet this connection, and then it's like I stumble into my path, I stumble into my power, and now all of a sudden I'm doing this metaphysical web series, and I'm doing a channeling series on a streaming network, which has the potential to be widely successful. And it's funny the way that you said that it just happens that way, and I believe in that. I believe in the power of what's happening.
I believe if you're a positive person, and I think the biggest thing is, some people say it's cliche to say everything happens for a reason, but I think that most things in life do. But I think it also, you get in what you put out. So if you are a shitty person, you're always looking like everything's going to go wrong for you and everything's against you, then that's how the world's going to feel, and that's how the world's going to be and what it's going to give you. When you're a positive person, you have a passion, you push for it. Sometimes it doesn't ultimately work out where you thought it was going to be. In case in point, myself, same way as you. I started out with every intent and hope that I was going to be a touring artist, whether in death metal or in rap, either one, and I was going to make that my living and do that and be the person who probably didn't get married or ever have kids and just make that my life. Life threw me a lot of different curveballs, whether good or bad, that changed different ways of thinking, changed different paths in life, which now puts me in a position that I still push harder than most artists that you ever hear about in the underground, and I'll continue to do so. If I make it big, amazing. If I don't, that's okay. And the reason I say that is it led me to a path that I kept pursuing my career. It started to look into, why just worry about myself? Yes, it would be great to be big, but let's start something bigger than ourselves, and let's create a team. And that's where the concept of Brutal Business came. And then I slowly started finding the right people with the right mindsets, and the people that were underdogs are superly talented, but just weren't getting the right spotlight that they needed. And let's form a fucking army with these people and make them our brothers and sisters. Let's make something that is much bigger than each of us individually, that's a total movement that can be something very large. And years into the making, it was doing better and better, and it kept building, and it felt good, but it wasn't hitting that pivotal moment that I'm like, damn, we're really doing this. And within the last year, that certainly has happened, especially within the last half of the year. I mean, right now we have 30 different events we're involved in coming up, between 7 different wrestling events in West Virginia. We have, I think, 6 or 7 car shows that are going to be in Morgantown, West Virginia. And then we have several shows from PA to Ohio to West Virginia. So we are doing a lot of different events there. We got a lot of things happen with the modeling and the radio, this podcast obviously here itself. And it just is funny because originally that never would have been my path. My path would have been, let's tour, let's play gigs every night. Let's be famous. Let's make that the only thing that matters. And then things changed. And the same thing for me. I kept putting songs out, kept playing shows, kept pouring my heart out, and I wasn't getting my big break. And it changed a couple of the ways I was doing things. I kind of rebranded, rechanged things. Instead of it being about I, it became about we. And now I have accomplished more as a team than I ever could have by myself. And I'm humble and happy with that, that I can sit back and say, you know what, even if I don't make it, my path wasn't necessarily to be the big one, but it's to help a ton of other people reach their dreams. And I'm absolutely cool with that at the end of the day.
Oh, absolutely. I have a lot of respect for that, very much so. And I also believe that what our opinion of what is big and successful could be very different than what somebody else's is. And I think the things that you're doing, because I know that you're very supportive of your community. I know that you are in your particular music community and the genre itself. You're very supportive, and you're also offering a lot of opportunity to the models that you work with and to the other artists, the musical artists that you work with, in creating a platform through Brutal Business that is somewhere where they can, you know, achieve greater exposure and have more doors and opportunities open for them. And so one thing that I am learning over the years, I want to say maybe over the last 4 years, is it isn't so much of the idea of what is big and successful on a wide scale way. I think that every little tiny minute thing that we do, every person we network, every friend that we help, or every little project that we collaborate with, I think it's infinitely important. I think it sends ripples of energy out into the cosmos in every direction for all time and space, that no matter what you're doing in any given moment, it's important. It has value. You know, every little interaction that you have with the people on your team and the interactions that they have with you, it creates these ripples of experience that just go on forever. And so when I realized that everything that we do has importance, whether I land the biggest fucking acting role anybody could ever dream of, or whether I never step foot on another set again, whatever we're doing, if we're passionate about it, we believe in it, it's important. It serves a purpose. It has value. And so collaborating with you and your team and the work that we do together, I'm very grateful of it. And I've had a lot of fun with you. And I believe in everything that you're doing. When I saw that list of all the events that you guys have coming up with the Brutal Business name, I'm like, how does this guy find time for it? But I believe that you do find time for it because you're doing. You're grinding. You're just doing things, bro. That's the problem. Is a lot of people, the fear of the judgment that you and I spoke about, they let it hold them back and stifle them, and they don't even try. They don't connect with people like you and I to help them and collaborate on projects. So I just think it's a positive thing that you're doing all these events and you have this team and you're a networking monster. I just don't want I don't want you or any of our listeners tonight to think that there is this big, grandiose achievement that you're supposed to experience. It's not the way this works. Every little thing that you do, every endeavor, no matter how big or small it is a step in that direction. It has value. It serves a purpose, and every person that you interact with in the process of no matter how big or small that thing is, it's important.
Oh, absolutely, it's important. I mean, I look back at everything I've done so far, and I can honestly say that if right now I quit doing music, I would still be happy with what I've accomplished. Now, by no means, guys and gals, if you're listening in, I'm not going anywhere. I have no plans to go anywhere. There's still a lot more ICM to come. But I mean, if I were to quit right now and know that I've put out, 5 full-length professional albums, I'm working on a 6th, so at least would release that. So let's say 6 professional albums, all the music videos, the battles, the hundreds and hundreds of shows, all the merch that's been sold. I can look back, the team that I built, everything, and say, you know what? Wow, what a successful run. But I still have so much to go. I plan on doing 3 times what I've already done. And it's just about staying driven, staying focused, and it's about finding your inner you. And I know that sounds silly, but it truly is, because there was a period of time that I felt trapped in darkness, that I felt just lost in my own head. And I had to, when you see people say I'm working on me, they say it, but they don't think they mean it. You actually do have sometimes to take a step back, meditate, and find your inner you and make peace with that person and fix things. And I did that. I took a step back. I was at my darkest point. I was just very unhappy. I literally was quitting my music. I was quitting Brutal Business. This was about a year ago. And the funny thing is we were killing it. But I got to this darkness and point where I was like, you know what? Nothing's going right. It's not happening. I'm not hitting that moment. I poured everything into it because every second that I'm not working or spending time with my wife, I'm doing this constantly. I don't just talk it, I live it. And, you know, I sat back and I did some reflecting and some repairing and took a new, fresh breath and outlook. Kind of, you know, hate to use the term again, but I rebranded me. So not just as a public figure, which I've done in the past, but I rebranded who I was to myself. And
you have to.
And I'll tell you what, the last year I've never felt better. I feel great. I feel like literally demons have left me. I feel like weight has been taken off my shoulders. And shortly after that, everything started falling into place. I have a positive outlook on everything. I know that I've made a difference. I kept thinking, what have I accomplished? I've accomplished nothing. But then it took some friends and some good people to kind of remind me and say, man, you've released all this stuff. What do you mean? This is more successful than most aspiring rappers will ever do. And I started to really reflect on it. And I felt that I was selfish. I said, wow, you know, here I am complaining and thinking I've done nothing and ready to just give it up because what's the point? When I've built so much in the last year, I've taken on everything in a different stride and I've never been happier and I've never had more things happening. And it's just about having a good, positive outlook. And don't feel like Dan said, don't feel that there's a magical spot that says, oh, I've made it because I've done this. You might make it, you know, to a level that's way below what you thought you wanted to be at and realize at that point you actually have made it or achieved what you've set out for. And that's where I'm at is I've actually achieved what I've set out for, but by no means am I going to let that slow me down. I'm going to raise the bar higher and higher and higher each time.
Absolutely. Let me add one little idea to that concept because I think you're in the sweet spot. I think you are in a place of power. And this is actually what one of the episodes of my web series is about. It's called Paradox. And so the idea here is that have goals for yourself. Have dreams, have aspirations. See, you know, in your mind's eye where you want to go, what you see yourself doing and what your highest excitement is. What I'm saying is have a plan and have goals. That's great. But the place of power is exactly where you are right now in this moment. Whatever you're doing right now, whatever your endeavors are and your artistic and creative expressions are, whatever process you're at in the journey is exactly where you need to be. And there's relevance in that. So like any stage that an artist is at, whether it's a musician or whether it's an actor that's pursuing a goal, pursuing a dream, it's a journey, it's a process. And although you can have an idea of what your definition of success is in that endeavor, you have to validate where you are right now as being part of the process. Exactly. And there's power here. There's power right here where I am in my professional acting career and in my filmmaking career and where I'm going, wherever this journey is that I'm going as a metaphysics teacher, there's power in it. It's part of the process. This is part of the journey. And there's a lot of relevance. What I'm saying is there's relevance to where you are in the process. Even if you have a definition of wanting to be further along down the line, like, you know, say, for example, my dream is to be in a movie with Keanu Reeves. That's my dream. But I'm also validating the fact that I'm here right now making metaphysics short films. You know, and that doesn't really seem like it has a lot to do with being in a movie with Keanu Reeves. But you know what? This is where I am in the journey, and there's power in that, and I know it. There's relevancy to where I am right now, regardless as to where I think I should be. There's power in the now moment. And
it absolutely is, because you know what? You can't climb to the top of the mountain without taking each and every step.
Correct.
Every one of those steps is equally important. and you have to be a part of that. Yeah, you want to be at the top. You say, damn, I need to get to the top of that mountain for whatever reason. It's a long journey. It's a grueling journey. You just want to be at the top, but you know what? Each and every one of those steps is what got you there.
And I think that you're in the sweet spot, because I know that you have goals for yourself. I know that you want to get to another level, whatever that means for you particularly. But when I say you're in the sweet spot, I just heard you say how much you validate and appreciate where you are now and the things that you're doing right now. And I can tell that you appreciate the fact that you've got all these events, and that, you know, Brutal Business is what it is today because of who you've become and the rebranding that you've gone through. I just love to hear you say that. I just love to know that you value yourself and where you're at in your journey. And I think that, paradoxically speaking, the more you value where you are now, the faster you get to where you want to go. That's the paradox.
I agree with that. I really agree with that, because for a long time I constantly kept telling myself, why aren't you better? Why aren't you bigger? Why aren't you doing more? Why don't you have better buzz, more fans? And I kept having people say to me, man, you're killing it. Why do you got to keep doing that to yourself? And I'm like, you don't understand. I should be bigger than this. And maybe I should. You know what? When you think like that, you're not helping yourself. It's telling yourself that you should be better, you should be bigger, is stunning you from being bigger. You're holding yourself back. You have to say, you know what? I want to be there, but I'm not there yet. I'm fine with where I'm at, and I'm going to work my ass off to get there, and I know I'll get there. You know what? Right now is my time to be here. And I need to do this right here the best that I can to get there and be the best I can there. And that's kind of the way I looked at it. And once I kind of took that dark cloud, it was crazy. It was like I turned a fan on, it blew the cloud away, the darkness went away, and I started getting happy with who I was and where I am and what I'm doing. And as you said, once I became at peace with that and accepted that and had power in that moment, all of a sudden, boom, 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 a couple more pieces fell into place. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay. So then I started doing them with that same outlook. You know what? I won't go into it saying I need to be the biggest right off the bat. I will take my gradual time, taking each and every step to get to the top of that mountain. And you know what? I've done that in everything I've done. And not only has it worked musically, now with the modeling, the photography, the wrestling, the car shows, everything else we're getting involved with right now. And one of my absolute favorites and something I've just fallen in love with is this right here, Uncovering the Underground Radio Podcast Show. I love talking to artists of all different kinds, whether it be on the show so far, we've had death metal vocalists, we've had hip hop artists, rap artists, we've had yourself, an actor, a director, an entrepreneur, a comedian. Yeah, it's insane the different people you can come across. And if you would have asked me years ago, would I ever been involved in any of this? No, I just wanted to be at the top. You know what? I took some side steps along the way and found out that there's some way better routes to get to the top than just climbing straight up.
Oh man, you nailed that. You know what? You nailed it. And that's one of my favorite analogies in metaphysics, is sometimes the best path to where you want to go is not the straight line. It's not the easiest. You know, the path can zig and zag, and sometimes that's more relevant for you than the fastest, easiest path.
That's it, because sometimes the roads less traveled are the ones with the most reward.
Correct. Absolutely.
And that's, you know, if you're listening out there and you're someone who has a passion, whether it be music, whether it be painting or drawing, whether it be acting, whether it be anything, whatever it might be, sports, it doesn't matter what it is. Don't push yourself so hard focusing on the biggest goal out there. You lose sight of the small goals along the way, because the small goals, as we said, are what get you there. They're the, so to speak, the footsteps. Take your time, please. Be happy with where you're at. Know that each and everything you do is going to help get you to that step. But you can't get to that step without those moments. So take pride in those moments. Be the best you can be every day and in every moment. And if you look at life with a positive attitude and you're happy about things and you give out good energy, you'll get good energy back and good things will happen for you. I promise you, we are two testimonials right there between Daniel and I that good things can happen. Are we where we ultimately want to be? No, but have we had a hell of a journey and done some great things along the way? Absolutely. And like I said, to be able to bring you not only my music, but all my artist music, the modeling, everything else that's involved, and be able to help so many other people get their passion out there along with mine, And it never slowed me down. If anything, they are the motivation to me. I am the motivation to them. We carry each other, and we're all reaching new heights constantly. And there's no reason it has to just be you. It can be your network. It can be your associates and friends. The road to the top can be lonely, but it doesn't have to be.
You said it, man. Well said. It's
And
good.
I just think that's the way to look at things. But so not to get too much more into that, let's jump into. You kind of brought up a couple things. So why don't you tell us where people can check out the Inbound?
Yes, I'd love to talk about, these projects. And part of my journey here, on Earth is to spread an awareness on some of these concepts. And I have 2 films that I would love for people to check out. The first one is free to watch, and that's Those Who Seek.
We have that up as well, so I'm glad you brought it back up.
We have Those Who Seek. It's a little on the longer side. It's about 45 minutes, but it's free to watch on YouTube, and that's on Tragic Hero Productions. And that was the film that we produced in 2015. And we cover all kinds of things from like the Men in Black to channeling. For those unfamiliar with channeling, you can learn a little bit about that in that film, and law of attraction and things like that. And I would love for you to check that movie out. Let me know what you think. It is free to watch on Tragic Hero Productions YouTube. Now, the Inbound Interception is a 30-minute sci-fi film, and there are 2 ways to check that out. So on our Tragic Hero Productions YouTube channel, there is a short film called The Inbound Prologue. And the prologue kind of sets up what the story, what this universe of the Inbound is about. And you see Anadria talking about her childhood and talking about what the Inbound is. And that was the short film that we shot at the same time that we did Those Who Seek in 2015. And it's funny the way these things work. You never know what's going to happen when you say yes. So Brad had asked us to produce the Inbound prologue for him while he was in Canada. He gave us a script, and he cast our actress Sammy Shearing, and my team, Tragic Hero Productions, right on the tail end of Those Who Seek. We didn't have a budget for the Inbound prologue, but to show our gratitude to Brad, we offered to do it for free, and we spent a whole day shooting that project, the Inbound prologue, which then down the line manifested into getting fully financed to produce a 30-minute short film on the Inbound universe in a much bigger way. So the Inbound prologue is free to watch on YouTube right now, and you can check that out along with Those Who Seek. But the Inbound Interception was a sci-fi film. It was basically the prologue, but a half an hour long with a much bigger budget. So we had a couple different sources financed the production costs of the Inbound Interception. And once we finished it, we've been marketing it all over the country in festivals. So we sent it out to like Atlanta, New York City, and California. And we put it to all these, submitted it to all these festivals over the last year to make sure that it goes through a proper festival run. So as an independent filmmaker, the best thing you can do for your film is to get it in front of the right audience, get it in front of the right eyes. And a good place to do that is at festivals.
Absolutely.
So, so we were working the festival circuit this year, and let's see, in June, so at the end of June this year, 2019, we are going to release the film on Awoken TV, which is the streaming network. So the film will be free to watch on that network, but we're also going to be self-distributing DVDs and Blu-rays. So we'll have a website that people will be able to purchase the film on disc if they don't have a subscription to Awoken TV. So that particular film technically releases officially this summer, although it's been completed and being worked in festivals for like a year and a half already.
That's great, though, because you get to release it on your own platform. I love that.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. What we need is a lot of spiritually conscious content for the Awoken TV platform, and the Inbound Interception is like, it's the perfect type of story to match that structure. Anything that's like spiritual, metaphysical, and content, that's what that network needs. So if anybody listening produces any sort of like metaphysical or spiritual documentaries or films, I know that the company would be happy to speak to you about potentially distributing your project on the network.
That's awesome. Yeah, if you're listening out there, guys, and you are curious about any of this, have anything you want to comment on that, please. We do have a chat on this actual application itself. You can go to Spreaker.com and I can't talk right now. Comment through the website, or you can comment through the application as well. So if you're listening, comment in, or you can email us at brutalbusinessent@gmail.com. Again, that is brutalbusinessent@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts. If you are someone interested in getting connected with that streaming network or with Daniel, please let me know. I can get you in contact. Now, definitely two projects that you guys, if you are listening, you should check out. I mean, both of them are I haven't seen the Inbound yet, but I have seen those who seek. So it's definitely, I'm very excited to see the next project, because I know it's a little bit different. I mean, I know that you had a little bit more funding for the second project. I think you did very well in the first. I mean, some creepy moments in Those Who Seek. Kind of, I like how you put it together, like the guys in the fucking the Blues Brothers outfits coming in, grabbing you in the store, and like dragging you out back that store, and like it was creepy. It had some moments too. I liked what you did with it, and I look very forward to seeing some of the other things that you're going to be able to produce now with more of a platform to push it, a little bit more funding behind it. It's only going to grow, as we already said.
Well, thank you very much for watching and checking that out. And it's something I'm passionate about. In the work that I do going forward, whenever I have a budget and the opportunity to produce my own content, it's going to be like that from this point going forward. Like, it's my duty now to offer these new ideas and wake people up and spread this consciousness through my films. And so speaking in terms of like the Men in Black, I mean, I grew up watching like the X-Files and being passionate about like those ideas. So if anybody checks out Those Who Seek, you'll be able to see my interpretation of what the Men in Black were really like when people had encounters with them. So that's the kind of weird shit that I'm into. Like, those are the stories I want to tell. I want to talk about that esoteric, what's behind the curtain type of shit. That's what I'm into.
No, that's great. I mean, like I said, you may have found your niche, whether it's meant to be big, whether it's meant to be small, whether it's meant to be just what it is. You found a path that you didn't plan on originally taking, that you have taken, and I think that's awesome. I think that could ultimately be your niche and what ends up making you. So the thing that kind of sidestepped you is going to ultimately be your saving grace, I think. I think that this streaming, I think that the projects you're working on, I think your mindset of what you have done in the last couple of years, with the meditation and with the channeling, it's gonna bring upon new things within this genre and within these topics that are gonna ultimately, I think, be what makes you.
Dude, I feel that. I truly do. And it's so, magical the way the universe works, because it's like the acting career did not manifest the way that I wanted it to, so that this could. And it's crazy.
It didn't manifest the way you wanted it to, but it manifested the exact way that it needed to.
Absolutely. 100%.
And, that goes on to the topic that there are bigger things at work than I think we sometimes realize. Now, whether that's God, whether that's some type of superior being, whether that's, who knows what it is, whether that's the Anunnaki, I mean, who the fuck knows? But there's something out there that somehow has its hand in how things play out. And I don't feel that sometimes things can just happen. I get it, that it might not have an ultimate plan behind it, but I feel like whenever you meet someone all of a sudden, like your friend that you came across, that kind of all of this came about from him. Several things like that have happened to me where I kept saying, I need to find someone that does video production, or I need to find a DJ, or I need to find this and that. And I kept looking and searching myself, trying to find it, and never worked out. And then boom, one day you bump into someone and you're like, oh, hey, how you doing? Start talking, boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, that's the puzzle piece you always wanted, you looked for years and felt was hopeless, but somehow it just fell in your lap, and it's because it wasn't supposed to happen on your terms. It's supposed to happen on the world's terms and on the universe's terms. It's going to give you what you need when you when it decides you need it, not when you decide you need
Absolutely, man. You're really on to some very, very important concepts. I wish we had more time to talk about, but there's the concept of the ego, which is your physical brain's personality, and then there's the concept of the higher mind. And your ego never really knows the best way things could happen or the best way to approach things. It has an opinion, it has an assumption on what it thinks is best, but it doesn't. The ego is fear-based and it doesn't really have it all figured out. Your higher mind is your more multidimensional self. It's your multidimensional perspective, and it has a much higher vantage point. Like if your ego attached to your physical brain can only see down the street, whereas your higher mind is like an eagle or a hawk up in the sky, and it can see down the valley and towards the mountains. So where I'm going with that analogy is you never know where life's going to take you. And as long as you kind of trust the journey and you stay positive, it's one of the 5 laws of the universe. It sounds cliche, but what you put out is what you get back. It's literally it's one of the 5 laws of the universe. If you trust in your journey, relevant and valid things will happen to you in your life. And whether that's like me moving to New York City to pursue my acting career and having that whole thing literally just shatter to pieces, and I end up back in Pittsburgh, but now I've got 2 different series that I'm working on as a result. Trust the fucking journey, you know what I'm saying? Like, stay positive and trust where you are, that it's relevant, that it's valid.
No, that's it. I mean, I can't agree with that more. You can't hinder yourself. You go to, like you said, you just got to trust the journey, because if you're constantly fighting the journey, you just make it that much harder for yourself. Sometimes you just have to trust it.
You create resistance.
You stay positive, and you do good things, and you do good by people. When you put good out, like we said, you get good in return. That's the way that it works. And
it's a law.
Like I said, cliche, but that's the truth. If you put out good, you have good. No, does that mean you're not going to have bad times along the way? Hell no, you're definitely going to. But if you stay positive through those bad times, that's another thing that's being weighed against you, and that's a test. If you crumble on the bad things, you never were meant to make it for the good things anyway. So you have to push through them. And if you stay positive through them, and life throws you a couple bones here and there, they get you right where you need to be. So it's just, you got to just keep pushing. You got to stay focused. You got to stay positive. And you got to realize it's not just about you. It's a much bigger picture, because like Dan said, if you're only concerned about you, or you're only concerned about the tunnel in front of you, the alley in front of you, you're not seeing the whole town around you and what's happening there.
Exactly. There is the concept of 5 universal laws that I study. And the first one is you exist, you always have, and you always will. That's a law of the universe. We are literally eternal beings. The second law of the universe is everything is here and now. Now, we don't have a lot of time to go into exactly what that means, but where you are in the now moment, whether it's listening to this podcast, or whether it's drawing a picture, or doing the dishes, or working your day job, or writing a poem, wherever you are, you're always right here, and it's always right now. You can look at the clock. Whenever you say that, you're here and you're now. We'll talk more about that on another podcast. The next law...
Absolutely, because I think there needs to be a follow-up additional podcast sometime coming up in the near future. I think there could be a lot of things talked about, and we could even set aside some segments,
I mean, we'll make this a regular thing if you want, We can make this a regular thing if you want.
The only thing that would be tough with that would be the timing, but I agree that there certainly could be some things that we could talk about. And the good thing about it is eventually, and I haven't started doing it yet on the shows, but I'm going to figure out a good way for people to call in, because the dashboard through Spreaker allows me to call you and me and you to talk, but it doesn't allow for a third call to come in. So I would have to do that somehow through like an actual phone, on speakerphone, through some type of mic system. And there's a couple of different ways to do it, but I haven't found a way that is comfortable, that is easy, that it's not more of a pain in the ass than it's worth. But I would like to start taking in phone calls from people as well to ask questions and maybe answer people's questions. go over things with them, pick people's brains. As time goes on, this show, people will get bigger and bigger and better. I mean, even from the first couple shows to now, you hear how it's advanced and where we're going with it. And it's one of those things you got to kind of test the waters and figure things out before you become a pro at it. And you give us a little bit of time, we're going to get bigger and better. And I honestly would like to have at some point another show, because my ultimate goal is that I'm probably going to start doing this every week. We've been doing it every other Thursday, and it's going to be moving to every single Thursday coming soon. And most of those will be interviews, and it'll be the regular Uncovering the Underground. But I do feel like doing special episodes from time to time where there is completely separate things, where it's just kind of like, hey, this is a special tonight. We're doing something different than the normal.
Like a theme, a theme on a particular topic, perhaps. Like we could do a whole episode on conspiracy theories.
Exactly, and from time to time, maybe you'll be my special co-host on the special editions. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, man, we could do questions, when we figure that out. I know that Google Hangouts and Zoom are different platforms, but I know that they allow more of a collaborative interaction on a call like this.
Okay, yeah, we could try to figure something out. I have to see how it would integrate with their dashboard on Spreaker, but I'm sure I can figure something out. There's always ways to figure it out, so. But no, that'd be great. I think there's a lot more to be talked about, and hopefully the listeners tonight, are enjoying the show. If you are, like I said before, please hit the share button, share it around to your friends on social media. The more they see it, the more the buzz it gets, the bigger and better things we can do, as I said. If you're also listening, please check out www.teambrutalbusiness.com. Again, that's www.teambrutalbusiness.com. It'll give you all updated news, the music that we release first before it hits any other platform, hits anybody else's eyes. It's always on our website first. So if you're constantly keeping in the loop with our website, you'll hear our music before anybody else does, see the modeling pictures before anybody else does. All updated news and events and our episodes of Uncovering the Underground are on there as well. And it's just a great way to keep in touch with everything going on with us and a lot of the artists that we network with. You can sign up to be or you can subscribe, to our emailing list. That way, once a month, you'll be updated with an email telling you everything that happened the past month and what's coming up the following month. So, great way to know what's happening in our universe. And if you are liking the show tonight, please, like I said, give us a thumbs up, share it around. Check Daniel out on all of his links. If you go to my private Facebook or any of my admin pages that I'm running, you will see the links to his different videos and movies that he's put out. If you've seen any of my music videos, you've seen his work. Make sure you support him. Get in touch with him. He's a great guy. Loves talking to people. Let him know you love his work. Let him know what you think of his work. And, interact with him. And like I said, share it around so other people can see it as well. We're getting close towards the end, but we're not quite done yet. One of the questions I wanted to ask you is two things. What is your favorite project that you've ever personally done, whether directed, filmed, acted, it doesn't matter? And then on the second part of that, what was the favorite ICM video that you did with me?
Okay, good questions. I'll keep them short. We're running out of time here, brother. My favorite project that I've ever produced through my studio is definitely Those Who Seek. I tried on a very small budget. I tried to create a project that was reflective of all of the sci-fi films and movies and TV series that I watched growing up as a kid. I tried to take what I was passionate about and what I grew up enjoying in entertainment and do that. And that's what Those Who Seek is. So it's a very small budget independent film, but it's so far, it's the favorite thing that I've created. My favorite ICM video, give me 1 second to think about that, because I have like a sweet spot for all of them. They were all so innovative and unique in their own way, right? Give me 1 second.
Because there's really favorite moments with every single one we've done. My favorite moments of Saved by the Shell were to see all the drawings that Sammy put together in that room that you guys created with the bed, the scene. I walked in there that day to your house, and I walked into that spare bedroom, and I was just blown away by the scene work that you got. I was like, wow, like, okay, that pumped me up, and that's my cherished moment from that specific video. That and the schoolroom with the whiteboard behind me.
Sick, right?
Those were awesome. Then, apparitions, me and you under that bridge, me and you down by the south side, standing on that little weird sewer platform down by the river. just weird moments that'll stick with me forever, that are great moments that I've taken from those, that each individually have a warm spot and a place in my heart.
I feel the same way. Like if I sit here and I watch all the projects that we've done together, like I could commentary so many moments that were fun and entertaining and things that just went well. Like, dude, on your projects, nothing ever goes wrong. And shit always goes wrong on productions. And like when we do our thing, like we set out with a goal, we show up, we shoot it, it goes well, comes out dope. Like it's like I don't have a lot of complaints. You know what I'm saying? Like I like all these projects. Sickness is always going to be sentimental to me because that was the beginning of our partnership. And it still holds up all these years later. It's still just a dope video.
It is. It's done well for itself, and I think that one's kind of fun just because, you know, once you become friends with one another, you know, we have that symmetry. That it's great and we work great together. But that night we didn't know each other. It was you know, like, okay, we're all three of us are working together, but I don't know them, they don't know me, and vice versa. And it was, let's create something amazing together. Can we pull it off? And I think it was the rawness of it that one would probably definitely have a special, very special spot for me.
Yeah, I mean, sentimentally speaking, Sickness has got to be my favorite. And then, as a production, you know, it's hard, bro. I mean, I really like everything. Demon in the Darkness was the second one we did, where Sammy made you up as like that, you know, shadowy demon, and there was, I mean, it has some of my favorite cinematography in that episode, or in that music video. I mean, it's like we're doing a series together. It's like we have a series of music videos together, you and I. You know, it's crazy.
We're not done yet, my man.
And then hold on, their Apparitions was dope because, dude, I fucking spent hours animating all those visual effects in Apparitions.
The visual effects on that's one of my favorite things in all the videos you've done.
And then you got to look at True Psycho. I want to not be biased, but I'm in that as an actor, and it's a real short film with a story, and it's exactly 10 minutes long, and I just love the way that it came out. That was a very collaborative project that is cinematic. You know, it was very
cinematic.
Cool.
That as far as film wise would probably be my favorite, just because of the depth of it, the fun with acting in it. Because not only did I get to be in the video portion and kind of acting like I am in all my videos, but I actually got to get some acting parts in it.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was an experience. It was to give them the footage before and after with the music video in the middle, something different. I think that ultimately was my funnest project together, as far as creating something just as a wow factor. Sickness will always hold that sentimental value, but that'll hold the best collaborative work, I believe.
And then, last but not least, for anybody listening, if you've seen Almost Famous, or you're going to go watch Almost Famous, one thing that people don't know about that is Skippy literally let me write and direct that episode. He said, you know what, Dan, like, if you have a concept for this, I'm going to let you take this one and you do what you do. And I said, well, there's some lyrics in there that invoke, you know, some conspiratorial concepts. Why don't we fucking make you up as, like, you know, the anonymous guy, you know, the anonymous, and the guy faux mask, and like make you like one of those YouTube videos where he's like, you know, American citizens, this is the state of your country. This is what's really happening behind the curtain. And it was I wrote it, I directed it, and then I went all in on the visual effects. And I literally spent, dude, I don't even know, probably 30 hours on the editing of that music video alone, because I wanted it to be as good as I can make it, because you entrusted me with, like, the story and the directing. Like, you let me take that song and do my thing as a filmmaker. And so I did that, and then I went in on the visual effects and did all the animations and compositing, and I studied like some of the biggest topics in disclosure, the biggest topics in conspiracy theories, you know, what's going on, what do these things mean? And so when you watch the video, you might just see a picture or a video clip of something, but every single shot that I used in that music video was handpicked by something that has happened, whether it's a, somebody blew the whistle on, sex trafficking and pedophilia, or whether it's the concept of chemtrails or Fukushima being like an inside job. All of these things, all of these concepts were handpicked from conspiracy theories that people actually study and talk about, and I put them in that music video as like a red pill to kind of get people asking questions and wondering, well, what is that? What are they poisoning us through vaccines? What are these pills they're pushing on us? Like, all that weird conspiratorial shit is in there for people to kind of just question and research and look into a little bit further. And so that project is special to me because you said, Daniel, you write it, you direct it, and I'll do whatever you want. And I was like, okay, let's get weird. And that's what
I
we
love
got.
it. You did exactly what I was hoping you'd do. And honestly, I'm always been one to be into the conspiracy theory side and be a truth seeker and someone that steps outside the box. So when you wanted to go with that concept, I completely supported and loved it. What you end up doing with it was just miraculous. I mean, you killed it. I know you put your heart and soul into that. I know you put a lot of hours into that. So I thank you for that and everything you've done on all my videos. As we said, folks, I mean, if you're listening out there, check any one of my 7 music videos. Check Syntax, my old group's video that we did together with me and Louie the Impaler.
Syntax,
and check Donna Rice as well.
That's what we forgot. Syntax. We didn't mention that at all until tonight.
We did not. Yeah, the Syntax got left out tonight. But we might touch on that another time. But there's definitely 8 music videos out there. Make sure you guys check them out. Check out, The Inbound Interception. Check out Those Who Seek. Check out Daniel as an actor, as a producer, as a director, as an entrepreneur. Support him and give his pages a like and a follow. Message him. Let him know what you thought about the show tonight and his work, like I said. And obviously we are going to do this again. We are going to have to talk more in depth about maybe me and you doing some side shows, aside from uncovering the underground and talking some truth to people and getting into some great detail on some certain topics. So definitely that'll be coming, people. If you want to hear more about that, please let us know. Blow us up on it. Think outside the box. Our things we want you to take home from tonight is always be yourself. Be happy where you're at. Know that every step you take counts to get you to where you need to be. Don't trap yourself in a box. Think outside the box and always search for the truth. Don't just believe everything you're told. Because as we said, if you're just staring down the alley or down the tunnel, you're never seeing what's behind you and to the left and right of you. You're only seeing what's in front of you, and that's not a good way to go through life. So make sure you follow those steps and you'll get where you want to go. Before we go, we're going to let Daniel give a quick shout out to anybody he would like to thank, where he can check him out one last time. I'm going to go over next week's show, and then we are done for tonight, guys. Dan, real quick, why don't you tell us who you'd like to thank and one last time where they can check you out at.
All right, man. Well, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity and bringing me on your program and giving me the chance to express myself in this way. It's very important for me, and so thank you for that. I'd like to thank my partner Lauren, who is done more for me in the last 6 months than I could ever ask somebody or hope for that much help. And she's single-handedly helping me build these 2 web series from the ground up to be, what is something that we're both going to be very proud of. So I'd like to thank her and give a shout out to my boy Brad Johnson. If he ever hears this, Brad's offered us a lot of opportunity in pursuing our passions and endeavors. So we'd like to thank him and Awoken TV. And most of my work is free to watch. So you can find The Moment Imaging. You can find Tragic Hero Productions. We have Facebook pages, YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff. And I would love to connect with anybody interested in having a talk. And that's it. Thank you for connecting with me.
Absolutely. Well, hey, guys, you heard it from the man himself. Check him out. Like I said, support him in his dreams, his passions, and everything he's doing. A lot of great stuff to come. A lot of great stuff already put out. Make sure you check it out. We do want to give some love to not only Daniel tonight for being on the show, but we do want to give a shout out and show some love to Simply the Rabbit, our guest on last week's show. He is a hip-hop artist from New York. If you haven't heard that episode, make sure you check it out on our Spreaker podcast radio show. You can look us up on Spreaker.com or on the Spreaker app. As I said, search Brutal Business Entertainment, Uncovering the Underground. All of our past episodes are on there for download or streaming, and you can always listen to us live during our shows. We do have next week, which is going to be Thursday the 18th. We do have King Cold going to come on here from Indiana State. and he's going to be talking about his new project coming out. He runs a company called Power Requires Hustle, and he has been signing on artists, doing a lot of very big things, just networking and connecting with a lot of huge names in the rap industry. It's very impressive what he's been able to accomplish and do with his company. That's one of the things, if you guys noticed, a lot of the artists and people I bring on the show, some of them are just artists, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But most of them have been artists of many natures and also entrepreneurs and company owners and things of that nature. So we try to bring people on who are not just doing, like I said before, just their own art. They are creating companies and opportunities for others. So make sure you check out King Cold's episode on the 18th. And then the following episode after that, we do have, let me check out the schedule. We do have Closer to Hell, a metal band from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We are bringing on Junior as the singer of Closer to Hell. We're going to be bringing him on. And then we have a lot of other awesome guests coming up. Check all past and future episodes at Spreaker.com. Check tonight's episode with Daniel James, actor, entrepreneur, and director. And I just want to thank everybody who's listening tonight. Thank all the fans of Brutal Business Entertainment. Shout out to all my artists on my label. If you are listening out there, do www.teambrutalbusiness.com. Check all of our updated news. Shout out to Tattooed Scumbag for being our sponsor. To R3 Graphics for the flyers he does every single show. And most of all, to all you guys out there. We love you. We want to thank you for listening. And we will catch you next time here on Uncovering the Underground Podcast Radio Show. Have a good night.